Hello and welcome to episode 19 of It's All Geek to Me, the pop culture chat show where three friends with varying degrees of nerd knowledge get together once a week to have a chat about all things geek. My name is Rich Gittins, and joining me this week and every week is one of my geekiest best buddies. It's Mr. Chris Lumb.
Hello. Did you forget my name then?
No, of course I didn't.
Chris, look.
It's Mr. Chris Lumb. Hey,
all right?
How are you doing?
I'm all right. It's a bit warm. I'll be honest.
It is warm, isn't it? It's normally quite cold in this room.
Sweating a bit.
Yeah. I've kind of overdressed tonight. I might end up having to, do a little striptease.
Get it off. Come on. Get it off.
I need a hat, don't I? Just
leave
my hat on.
Yeah.
Shall we get Webby out?
Nah.
Here's our other geeky mate. It's Mr. Nathan Webb.
Hey up.
Webbford. What's it like there? Are you warm there as well, Webby? We're warm.
No, actually, there's a nice little breeze coming in. I'm not too bad.
You got a window open, haven't you? Have you got a window open? I haven't got a window open.
He's got a giant apartment as well. He won't feel the heat in there because there's just air flowing through it. It's massive.
It's a massive flat that you
live in. Why are you shut up about me?
With all your millions of Webby pounds that you've got.
It's full of your fucking furniture.
It is actually. That's my old bedroom that Nathan's doing the show in.
Yeah. I like to lie on his bed and get naked and just see what happens.
Brilliant. I'm looking forward to snapping back the sheets when I come up and stay in a couple of weeks.
You can.
We should bring out our special guest. We've got a very special guest this week. It's our resident Lego master. Ladies and gents, it's Mr. ROB GIRDLER.
Yay!
Hey, Rob, how are you this week, buddy?
Hello. Hey, I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you guys?
Very well. You're looking very well there, Rob. You're looking very well. And you're here this week, like other weeks when you've been here as well. Is one, just because you're a lovely human being and full of knowledge. But the other reason is because we're going to be doing some talking about Return of the Jedi, and you have a very special Lego model that you're going to build for us tonight. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
I can. It's one I think most people will recognise. It's very, very relevant to the film that you're talking about tonight. It has a total of 434 pieces. I actually checked the part count tonight before you asked me. And shall I give people a bit of a preview of what we're going to actually do?
Come on, stop teasing us, Rob. Stop teasing us.
We're going to do Luke's X-Wing tonight.
It's not the first X-Wing they've done, but they've managed to get fewer pieces. So
which edition of the X-Wing which edition of the Lego X-Wings is this? How many preceded this one? Do we know?
So there's been about 6 or 7, I think, different X-Wings.
This is a more modern one. Brilliant.
Yeah, this is the most recent one.
They did a massive one as well. Exciting. They did a UCS one that's bloody huge. It's a biggie.
It's not next to my Falcon.
No, it's not. It looked good next to it, but it's nowhere near as big as that.
Rob, I was thinking about this today. When are you going to rebuild your Millennium Falcon? When can we see it in all its
tell me I'm rebuilding my Millennium Falcon.
I mean, that could be a special show all on its own, couldn't it? It's
about a month's worth of shows.
I got a great idea. I want everybody to talk at the same time.
Look, you're grumpy today.
He's grumpy, isn't he?
I told you he was grumpy. We always talk at the same time. That's the name of the show.
Well,
it's going to be the second name. Second show.
Yeah, it's our tagline. It's all geek to me. We talk at the same time. Yeah, it's catchy. So, Rob, I don't want to hold you up because we should probably get going on building this X-Wing. But you're going to join in the conversation, and we're going to keep coming back and checking on how you're doing as the show goes on. So, good luck.
I will certainly do my best to join in, and good luck. I will get started. I will keep attempting to mute my microphone because this is brand new, and there will be bag rustling if I don't. So
and swear words as you fly. You haven't even unbacked this yet. Wow.
No, this is brand new in box. This is absolutely brand new.
Oh, we've got to watch the unboxing.
We've got to watch the unboxing. Yeah, I didn't realise that.
Leave some sound on for a moment.
Yeah, we want that. We want that. I was going to say that virgin rustling, but that could be taken way out of context.
Oh, look at that! It's ripping, just rip it straight. That's one annoying thing about Lego boxes. They don't give you a way of opening it without destroying the box.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a bit silly.
So does that affect the sell-on?
Too bad.
Does that affect the sell-on value? Because I know they just accumulate in price. How does it work in terms of box condition?
Well, I have no idea. I never sell my Lego.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't sold any. I've seen that people do overcharge when it's mint in box, but if it's open, they generally always mention it because, people whine about it, I guess.
I mean, that is quite a boring life, isn't it? To buy Lego to never ever open it, just to sell it on again.
What's the point?
Yeah,
you've got to have some fun. The whole point.
So how many bags? 4 bags.
4 bags by the looks of it, and some lovely stickers as well. We're going to have to do those while we're going. So yeah, that will probably involve a lot of swearing.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 bags. This should be a lot easier than the DB9 because it's about half the number of pieces. So there's a fair chance we might get this tonight.
Okay, cool. Well, good luck. I feel like we should have some sort of stop clock counter thing. So yeah, exactly. We didn't think about that.
We don't want to put too much pressure on him.
Yeah. We don't want to put too much pressure on you. Go.
Hey,
I've got a bit of news, right? I just remembered my Millennium Falcon. You can't see from there. I found the radar dish. It was missing.
Holy shit!
It was behind. I moved some furniture and it was behind it.
Shit! How long's it been behind that furniture?
Ages.
Yeah.
You were like a nipper.
I don't know.
But you were tiny.
I was just pleased I found it. You know.
I'm pleased for you too, man.
I'm pleased for you, man. When are you going to put it on?
I just did, but I just pulled it back off.
Ah, okay.
It just slots on. It just slots on.
It's one of them pull off, pull on.
It's got some slots there that you just put it on like that.
Oh, nice.
But it fits in with Return of the Jedi, doesn't it? Because he gets his thing knocked off.
It's
cock.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a special edition one.
Oh, okay.
Sure,
yeah.
And old butter my cock got knocked off.
So tonight we will be going through. We've got a best and worst segment where we're going to be doing best and worst Bill Murray films. So have a think about that. Get in your best and worst Bill Murray films. And by the way, hello to you, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to comment on the show here, Facebook Live, and go over to our socials over on It's All Geek Twit. But we're going to be doing a chat about Bill Murray, our best and worst Bill Murray films, and then we're going to be doing a retrospective look at Return of the Jedi. But first up, do we have any news this week?
Hang on, before you haven't asked that. Usually you ask us how the week went, and I've actually got something to tell you. We're a bit
Hey, Webby.
Yeah.
Hey, dude. How's your week been, man?
Oh, nothing. You know. All right.
Okay, cool. So, what we're going to be doing
today I finally got to cash in. I got a voucher this Christmas for a massage, right? We're in fucking lockdown, so I couldn't go for the massage. My back's been killing me, so I've waited 4 months to go for this massage. The appointment finally arrived today, yeah? I go to the beauty spot. It's a ladies', well, I think it's an everybody's beauty parlour, actually, because, you know, it's the way the world is. Yeah, because they did me. Anyway, I went to the beauty spot to see the lovely Kate. If you want a nice massage, reasonable price, go to the place, beauty spot. Evening.
Hey, Martin.
Anyway, so I get in, and I'm having my massage, and I'm telling her about. She said, "Where does it hurt? And what's the problem?" And I think it's my shoulders. I've been playing guitar for 25 years, not in a row because that'd be exhausting. But so I'm hunched over a lot. And I think, that's where it is. She said, "Oh, you play guitar? My partner's a bass player. He's a professional bass player." And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." And she went, "And he's got a pub and he's got a comedy club in Bradford." So literally, as I'm saying, "Oh, I've got a mate who does comedy nights. Give me his card. I'll give you his. I'll pass it on to." And I'm telling her about the
I know what it is.
Comedy checkout club, and she goes, "It's not Chris Lumb, is it, by any chance?" What? Get out of my head, massage lady.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So yeah, small world. I nearly got you a gig that you've already got.
So was it weird? Was it weird talking about Lummy while you were having a nice relaxing massage?
Well, it took a while for the
Or did it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did it?
Yeah.
Turn me on a bit. The massage, not so much, but
It's,
one lummy in my brain. What? Can't remember a partner's name, but you know him. Begins with a T.
It's
No,
Jace.
it don't begin with a T. Jason. That's it.
He's Bradford Tapestry Arts at Bradford.
Tapestry, that's the one. I knew it began with something. I was very relaxed. I can't remember details when I'm relaxed. Apparently, I came out there like, yeah, yeah. I can't. That's not true. I don't want you all going there thinking that doesn't happen. Believe it or not. I nearly asked her just to make her laugh because Jo goes there all the time and she knows her quite well. So I thought it'd be funny to. Jo said this voucher includes a happy ending, but I'd only just met her and I didn't want to freak her out.
They're really nice as well. They're really nice, both of them. So.
Oh, it was a good massage too, guys. I'm gonna highly recommend it. But yeah, so there you go.
Small
world, man.
This is one of those times when I'm just fighting back a story that my brain is telling me, that like part of me is telling me.
Don't do it. We've heard your stories.
Yeah, I should. Yeah.
Write it
Have
down.
You got a story that's relevant?
Massage related? Yeah.
Go on then. Tell us a massage story.
So, I'd been doing a show at a festival, me and a friend of mine that both of you guys know, but we won't mention his name, and we'd been camping at lots of festivals and our backs were a bit fucked after doing a season of just touring around doing these shows. We came back to London and we thought, right, gonna go for a massage. Where'd you go for a massage? I'd never had a massage before, but it was like, yeah, massage seems like a good idea. So I'd said, right, in Chinatown there's loads of massage shops. And he was like, all right, let's go down there. So we walked down, and some of them obviously look a bit dodgy, but we saw one where there was a guy behind the counter in a white lab coat. And we're like, white lab coat? Got to be, yeah, that's so professional.
Practically a doctor.
Yeah. So we went in, and we're like, to the back and shoulders. Yeah, thank you very much. And then this lady who was dressed quite well for the middle of the day, and she ushered us downstairs into this really dodgy looking basement, and it was terrifying. And anyway, I lay down on the bed. This girl came in, gave me a massage. Wasn't that great? And went outside to find my mate sat on the pavement with his head in his hands, and I was just like, what's up, man? And he was like, were you offered any extras? And I was like, no. And basically, as this lady was massaging him, it was the old lady that had taken us downstairs. And as she was massaging him, she just told him to roll over. She just stuck her hands down his pants. And he just jumped up and went, £25 back and shoulders, £25 back and shoulders. And just basically got dressed and ran out of this massage shop. I could not stop laughing. It was brilliant. He was really humiliated. I couldn't stop laughing because that's what friends do, right? They offer the reassurance.
Yeah. So I'm surprised he turned it down, man. You know, I didn't get offered, so I can't really.
I think that would have been. I don't know if I'd have found myself in that situation. I think I'd have been mortified. I'd be really fucking embarrassed. It's just like an invasion of privacy. So maybe I can see why.
Of course you would. Who do you think you're talking to? We know you. We know you.
Oh no, thank you very much.
I couldn't possibly. I couldn't possibly have that in a darkened cellar where nobody's around.
That would be terrifying, though, right?
You do it, man. Come on, you do it.
To be honest, I
think he was just upset that he didn't get offered.
I was a bit like, what did I get? What was wrong with me? No, it was. I think it was. I was already terrified going down there, so I don't even think anything would have been able. It was really scary. It was just this fucking like meat locker kind of cellar. It was horrible.
Not only that, what if you followed through? What if you followed through? That's not. What if it got offered to you and this?
You'd have to pay more for that.
This little old lady completed the happy ending,
the task.
Oh,
and it's the first time it's happened, and a few days goes past, and you think it's about time to pleasure yourself, but you can't because this little old lady did it better than you.
You
got to go back for it now.
Oh,
yeah, ruins your masturbation schedule and everything.
Oh,
go on, Lumb.
Enhances it.
Oh, interesting.
You go back, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's sort of a bit. I mean, each their own, but it's just a bit.
I think you've judged them too harshly, and you should go back.
I think you should. I think you should go back and apologise.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mate, ran out.
Massages, eh?
Have
you? Do you say that's your first time you've been for a massage, Webb?
That was. I've been for loads since, but in more reputable places.
Me? No, it's not the first time I've had a massage. But I used to have a friend that was a sports masseuse, and this was a totally different thing to that. This was a little bit more relaxing, not as intense. And I don't imagine I'm going to wake up tomorrow feeling like I've been run over like I used to from these massages, because they got right into these little devilish fingers, got right into every nook and cranny, and it was really, really heavy going. It bruised you the next day, so hopefully I shall remain unbruised. But yeah.
And how long did it last? How long were you there for?
It was an hour appointment, I think. Probably about 55 minutes worth of massage. No, because we got to talk.
It was an hour appointment. I was there for 4.
What I mean is,
I just won't leave.
I didn't realise. I thought if you show up 10 minutes early, you could get your clothes off and everything. You won't be charged. You won't come off your time. But it's all very clever.
What's it called? Let's give them some free advertising.
It's called. I just said it's called the Beauty Spot, and it was a lovely Kate. I think it's a daughter's just started working there as a beautician as well, so it's like a bit of a family business now. Yeah. You know, and obviously they need the business at the minute because the lockdown really screwed them over. Yeah. So yeah, it was awesome, really cool. They do other treatments. They'll wax your fanny, they'll wax your back if you want, wax your balls, wax your cock if you want. They'll wax whatever you want. They'll wax pretty much whatever you want.
You're offering services I don't think they do now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm gonna go get my dog waxed.
Yeah. Oh, this guy said on a geek show that you did everything.
Can you wax my car?
Can you wax?
Drive it straight to the building. Oh dear! Oh Joe!
That's true. Well, how would you know? How would you know? Been a while, love.
Wow! It goes out. Other people see this. You do know that, right?
He's getting locked out tonight.
Literally, yeah. What's been going on in the news this week?
Well, we struggled really, didn't we? We've hastily cobbled together news because what a right lot. There's another cast announcement for Indiana Jones, but none of us can remember who the hell it was. Who was it?
I can't remember. They seem to be announcing a new cast member every week though for it.
Yeah,
it's like
a bit of a trickle, isn't it? I mean, just get on with it. Film the shit. Why are you casting it so slowly?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there is rumours going around that Jon Favreau's taking over Lucasfilm. That's been going around the rumour stuff.
Interesting.
And Kathleen Kennedy's getting the boot. But allegedly. Don't know if that's... I keep doing that sound. I don't know why.
Strange, eh? Strange world. We've got... What else we got news-wise? We've got...
the news that if you want to pick yourself up an original Empire Strikes Back script, you can do so at Bristol Auction House on May the 4th, on Star Wars Day. Because David Prowse's putting a load of his stuff up for auction, actually, Webby was saying, but I know he's putting his script up. And it just shows that the length... that they even had to go to certain lengths 40 years ago to be able to kind of keep a secret within a sort of a movie franchise. So the script has the original line instead of "Luke, I'm your father." It says, "Luke, we will be the most powerful in the galaxy. You will have everything you could ever want. Do not resist. It is our destiny." And that was the line that he had in his script. Only 3 people knew about the plot twist, apparently. It was, I know Mark Hamill was one of them.
It's slated to go for around about £4,000, but you know how much fucking money some of these Star Wars collectors have got. I reckon it's going to be way more than that. So if you've already got a load of Star Wars stuff and you're still sitting on a big pile of cash, you may as well buy that as well, you greedy bastard.
Imagine that. But imagine, none of us would mind having an original copy of the Empire Strikes Back script, right? I mean,
no, but
I don't know what you do. What would you do with it though? Would you put it in a display case? Would you mount it on the wall? Would you?
I'd eat some chocolate while I read it.
Yeah, drink a big steaming cup of coffee. Drink a big steaming cup of coffee sloppily.
Yeah.
See what happens. Play with fire. In fact, I might just set it on fire on a live stream just to see what happens.
I mean, he was a bit annoyed, wasn't he, David Prowse, that he wasn't doing the voice of Darth Vader originally.
But,
so I wonder if the script has just got, why aren't I playing this? Why aren't I doing the voice all the way through it, every page? You're like,
God. Yeah, but those scenes that are undubbed without James Earl Jones doing the voice, and he's doing the David Prowse doing it in his West Country accent, are just fucking brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the original Star Wars script of his, to be honest, because it'll still be the time he thought he were doing the voice. It'll say stuff like, "Can't wait till this comes out. I'm going to rock the screen with my Welsh accent." Like,
do you know what? I think I'd rather have an original Star Wars anything. Like, I'd rather have anything like than from any of the other films. If somebody said to me, "You can have this from Star Wars, or you can have this from any of the films," I think I'd always go. I think my heart always lies with the original Star Wars film.
I'd like to.
That's a good question, isn't it? What would you have? What would you have if you could have any piece of Star Wars history? What would you have?
Personally, I'd really, really love to have a Yoda, except for the fact they're made out of latex and it perishes over the years, so they're all crumbly and fucked now. I'd really like a lightsaber. I'd like a lightsaber hilt, a proper one, a screen used one. Any of them, man. Okay, I'd have Dooku's, the worst one. Fair enough.
I'd have the full-size Millennium Falcon. Do you know what I love about the Falcon? That ramp to run up. I just want to run up that ramp.
Yeah,
if you go to Disneyland, you can't even do it. You can't even go because they've got a barrier around the Falcon. It's like, let people up the ramp, you tight bastards.
Really?
Just jump over it. Pretend you're Han Solo. What would Han Solo? Would he stand behind a barrier or would he jump over it?
It'd be worth getting kicked out. It'd be worth getting kicked out just to get one photo running up the ramp.
Yeah.
Make sure you've been on everything before you do it in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Get
Last
your money's
thing at
worth,
night.
and then really get your money's worth.
Yeah.
And what about you, Rob? What would you have? What would you have, Rob?
I mean, if I could have anything, it would probably, similar to Chris, I would probably go with the studio model that they used for the Millennium Falcon.
No, I'm having it, Rob. You can't have it.
No, you can have the full size one. I'll have the studio model because it'll fit in the house.
Oh, all right, okay, all right, deal.
Yeah, and then Lummy can live in the full size one.
I've changed my mind. You know what I'd really like? I've fallen in love again with Carrie Fisher recently because I watched a 20-minute documentary about her with all the best lines from interviews and best lines from shows and stuff she's been in. But it was a mini documentary, and it reminded me. I read her books a couple of years ago, The Princess Diaries and the other one from Star Wars when they were filming it. And she's such a funny ass lady. I think I'd like Carrie Fisher just to hang around with, just to chat with her.
Yeah.
She's great.
Have you seen? There's a documentary about her and her mum. I can't remember what it's called now, but there's a few in there, and there's a Carrie Fisher stage show as well. That's great, where she's
man. Some of her lines. So I don't know if you know this, Rich, but Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher were her parents, who were both movie stars at the time, and at the time they were really good friends with Elizabeth Taylor and her husband. And her husband died, and Carrie Fisher's got this cracking line about it where she says, Liz Taylor was so upset, my father consoled her with his penis.
I've heard that story before.
He ended up running off with her and split the family up and everything.
I've heard that story before.
Yeah, she's really funny lady.
Got a comment from your Daisy Webb. Real life Wookiee.
Yeah, man. You could comb it and stuff, couldn't you?
What's what ears? What's what bunny ears?
I think that's a nice picture of you, Days. That's a good picture. But I was just trying to figure out a way of saying it without it sounding creepy and weird. But it seems like Lummy was criticizing.
Why did you say it like that? Then why did you go? That's a really nice picture of you.
I thought that's a lovely picture of you.
That's even worse, Nathan, that you said that.
Oh,
yeah, you're my brother.
That's weird. That's creepy.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm just gone.
Oh, sorry. This is about Darth Vader.
Bill Bailey's got a joke about this, about it not being a very menacing accent, the West Country accent. And he does that all, you're a traitor to the Rebel Alliance and all that. So it's really shit. So yeah, I think it's a wise choice that they changed it. It's lucky James Earl Jones lived this long though, isn't it? He's been around to redo all the voices again.
All right.
You're welcome, Dave.
Other news. You want some more news, bitches?
Some more news, and also I've got some Bill Murray facts that I want to splash around the show tonight.
Oh, what's going on tonight?
Are you throwing him? It's because he started with his massage pal. He can't get it off his brain now.
I do regret telling that story.
Give us a Bill Murray fact then.
I regret telling that story.
Hang on.
He said he's going to splatter Bill Murray facts throughout the show, so he could do
he'll
it
have
now.
to wait till the news is done.
No, he could do it now in the news.
The next segment is a Bill Murray segment. That's the point. So that's why we're splashing.
I'm sorry.
I believe the word I used was splashing as well, not splashing.
And I've overjumped the gun. I didn't realise. You've said Bill Murray. You're gonna have to fucking acknowledge it until Lummy can relax. Give him a fact before he jizzes all over himself.
Caddyshack fact with Bill Murray.
Is that the fact?
Yeah,
he was in Caddyshack.
Bill Murray was in Caddyshack.
Wow.
Right.
So it only took Bill Murray 6 days of filming to do all of his scenes for Caddyshack, and all of his scenes were improvised.
Hang on, I just need to take Webb out of the chat 1 sec. I've got to show you a message, Rich. Hang on, I'll bring you back in, Webb.
Yeah, I can still see it, dickhead.
Oh no, sorry.
I tell you another Caddyshack fact.
You've
fucking shit. I hate that film. It's an awful film.
You don't like Caddyshack?
No,
do you not?
Bill
Murray's brilliant in it. He's brilliant in it.
He does a stupid Adam Sandler voice all the way through. It's terrible.
I think Bill Murray did it first. Probably.
Yeah, well, still.
I like Caddyshack.
I like Caddyshack.
Bill Murray in it.
It's got Chase in it as well.
But did you know that he'd improvised everything that he did in it?
Yeah.
Did you know he only took him 6 days to film everything?
Not really. Well, that's quite a long time, really, isn't it? 6 full days.
Not at all. Really? Holy shit!
6 times 24 hours is a long time.
Yeah, if you'd said 5, would have been impressed.
If you're doing one of Lummy's films, it is. But if you're doing like
an hour,
right? News. So it's a bit of a Lego themed and a bit of a Star Wars themed show. So to back that up in the news, I've got a bit of Lego Star Wars news for you, guys. So I'll go for the 26th of April. There's quite a few sets coming out on the 26th of April, which is quite soon, isn't it? It's like this Monday or something. Is it?
It is Monday. Yeah.
So on Monday they're releasing set number 75306, 683 pieces, $59.99, and it's the Imperial Probe Droid. And it's pretty cool, man. It looks good.
I like that.
It's good, isn't it? I like that one. You get a little bit of the snow scene underneath it, a bit of snow dripping down the placard as well. It's pretty cool.
It's good, that is good.
Yeah, I like that one.
I do like that.
And on the same day, you've also got the Scout Trooper helmet, 75305, 471 pieces,
Wow.
$44.99. Yeah, I mean, I'm not collecting these myself, but if you're a helmet fan, go for it. Knock yourself out.
Rich, the helmet fan, aren't you?
He is. It's a big helmet.
No, not really. Not particularly. I had a cycling helmet. I mean, that's a.
And then
carry on with the Lego.
We've got 75304, 480 pieces, $59.99. This is one people have been waiting for a long time. It's Darth Vader's helmet. So they did a series of these helmets last year. I think they did Boba Fett and they did Stormtrooper and a couple of others. I don't know about you guys. It looks like he's like, you know, those Japanese anime things where people look like they're smiling. It looks like a bit like
I don't like all the roughness on the bricks on these things. I've said it before.
Yeah, I know.
The future car looks awful. You know that little one they did.
Yeah, I didn't buy it for that reason.
They did some the Mickey Mouse and the Minnie Mouse Lego heads, didn't they? And all the faces look like they were just like blocky.
Now you say that, I've just seen that they've done the first ever minifigure builds. So this year they're bringing out Harry Potter and Hermione, and they're actual minifigures, but they're like that big and they're buildable, completely buildable, and they look absolutely stunning. But it's not a Harry Potter show, so I ain't got any photos of that shit to show you. But anyway, the next one that's coming out is guilty of what you've just said, Lummy, that blockiness around it. However, I think it redeems itself, and it's R2D2, set number 75308, 2,314 pieces. $179.99, and that's coming out on the 1st of May, and it's a USC model. But I saw a video of a guy reviewing this one. All these little panels pop out, all the little things come out. That middle leg down at the bottom that drops out. So
see, I like the body of it. It's the head that just looks a bit.
They could have smoothed it off. They haven't done. I'm not sure why. But anyway, I saw this video and the guy was like moving it. It's got a proper. It's got a wiggle to it that just looks right. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you've seen the BB-8 model, but its head moves properly. Bobs around. And
do you get a Lego Kenny Baker with it?
No, I'm afraid not.
Yeah,
but you get a Lego R2. You get a tiny little R2.
Yeah, 50th anniversary, innit?
Yeah. So that's one that's coming out, which I wasn't bothered about until I saw this review of it, and it looks really good. There's 2 little buttons on the back that you can press, and the bits at the front open where the little levers come out and stuff.
How much is that one?
Model. That's 180 quid.
Has it got his prequel jets on? Because that's all I'm bothered about.
I don't believe so, actually. I don't believe it does. I mean, it should do, shouldn't it, really? Because that's canon. Anyway, and the other bit, it's not news, but a few weeks ago for my birthday, I got the Lego Razor Crest, and I finished building it. That's set number 75292 for anybody that's interested. Again, 1,023 pieces, 120 quid on all good Amazons and stuff. I finished building it. If you want to pop some photos up, I'll kind of have a little. I'll tell you what's going on. Best thing about this one, clearly by far, is that's a really bad picture.
You said put any of them.
Thing about this, I know, all right, but
about that one,
that's brilliant. It all opens up at the side, so you can put your little men inside, play games. At the other side, there's 2 little carbon freezing slots as well, so you can put. Yeah, that's from the front angle. But the best thing about it is the giant. Comes with a giant dog Lynn bunny. I put the Lynn bunny there for scale, so you had something to, something to
play with.
Look at the little baby Yoda. Cool. I mean, come on, that is the cutest thing about it. So, yeah, basically, you spent 120 quid on that tiny little figure.
that lint bunny would kick Yoda's asses.
And I've now got a Lego Carl Weathers. You can't really say fairer than that, can you?
Yeah.
So that's the figures it comes with. The Scout Trooper, IG-11, Carl Weathers, the Mandalorian, and
you just reminded me of some news. What I'll say in a minute. Finish it.
Yeah, so I finished building it, man. And it's not a bad set at all. I quite liked it. That's it. Cool. That's all the Lego news this week.
I knew there was some news that I read this week, and I couldn't remember. I just remembered when you said Carl Weathers. Stallone's re-editing Rocky IV.
Why?
He's doing like a director's cut, and he's getting rid of all the do you know the robot and all that, Paulie's robot that everybody hates? He's deleting all the stuff out of that, and he's putting extra scenes in. It's like weird. I just read it the other day.
Weird.
I don't remember a robot.
Yeah, it's like
I've only seen them all once, I think. But
yeah, he's got this robot-like thing that goes around in the house. It's like crap. It's really weird.
I've got another Bill Murray fact for you. Bill Murray was in Garfield, the voice of Garfield. Yeah. The reason he did that film, do you know why he did that film?
Yeah, because he thought it were the thingy, the Coen brothers who were.
Yeah, he kind of missed the H in Joel Coen, so Cohen versus and he thought he was doing a Coen brothers film. Why would you
not check that? Surely the fact it's Garfield would give you an indication.
Maybe this is where the fact that he's notoriously difficult to contact and communicate comes in. Do you know what I mean? Maybe if he had a more reachable phone number,
that
comes
to my next fact is that whilst most actors have an agent, Bill Murray has a dedicated phone line where people can phone in and pitch
like their 1-800 number, isn't it?
Yeah, and that has been the reason why he's missed out on some. Well, he really wanted the one part he really regrets
Who
not.
Framed Roger Rabbit?
Was Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he was off the part for that, and he got the message late.
He was the first choice for Who Framed Roger Rabbit as well, and they couldn't get hold of him.
He was also the first choice
for animate the rabbit instead.
Also, the first choice for Han Solo and Indiana Jones.
No.
Yes, he was. No. Telling you he was. Telling you he was.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. There's a trailer with Stallone doing documentary whilst editing Rocky IV. Also,
yeah, Stallone, I was going to mention this Creed 3 thing as well, because that popped in my head when he started talking about Stallone. He don't want to be in the third one for some reason.
Have you seen the Creed films? I quite liked them. I thought
they were fucking great. Great boxing movies. Absolutely great. Kind of a bit dark.
Martin's asked us all, who's annoyed that Mortal Kombat is out in States, but we have to wait 30 days before it's released.
I'm at peace with that, Martin, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm not massively bothered. I mean, unless it's really good, then fair enough, but I don't know. I mean,
I didn't know they'd finished it. Do you get that?
Yeah.
I was reading an article the other day that was talking about how the film Bloodsport had massively inspired Mortal Kombat.
Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray was up for that role. Up for that role. Dan Aykroyd used to call Bill Murray the Murricane because he'd go wild. And in 2000 and
all right, Jace.
Is that easy?
She's obsessed.
Was that again?
That's a new one. That's a new message, man.
All right.
Oh my god. Seriously, somebody call her, for God's sake.
So in 2006, Bill Murray was in St Andrews in Scotland, and he met a bunch of Scandinavian students and went back to their house for a house party, drank a load of vodka, and did their dishes for them. And then in 2010, he did the same thing, but in Glasgow, and ended up singing some folk songs, including Loch Lomond.
There's a brilliant documentary about encounters with Bill Murray that people send in. It's really, I can't remember what it's called.
So there's an incident really where Bill Murray bumped into two members of the Wu-Tang Clan in a bar, and then they just got behind the bar and started serving customers behind the bar like they were just regular bartenders. But when anyone ordered the drink, whatever drink they did order, they just give them tequila. They did it for a whole evening. And also there's a story of somebody who was in a Wendy's, and Bill Murray walked up, nicked a bunch of their fries, and just went, "Nobody will ever believe this ever happened," and walked off and ate their fries. That's fucking brilliant.
He's got that legendary status that Tom Hanks has got, hasn't he, for just showing up at weddings and being there randomly. Have you ever seen that one where the guy is pissed at the table, he's fallen asleep, he's left his phone, and Tom Hanks has taken a load of selfies and left the phone for the drunk guy? You're like, wow. I mean, I can imagine that happening to Lummy and him actually hurting himself. Hey, man. Bill Murray's the man, yeah. I can't wait to talk about his movies. In fact, are we there yet? We're there now.
Not yet.
We've got some more news to go.
News me up.
By the way, Martin said don't ring her, it's a trap.
I'm not going to ring her.
We've got one more bit of news. Ricky Gervais,
I love you, Daisy. Sorry, that sounded really horrible. Sorry, I love you, Daisy. But
yeah. Ricky Gervais is filming Afterlife season 3, which is weird. See, so I think this is the first time he's done a season 3 of any of his shows, and I'm all for it, man. This show won me over. It's fucking wonderful. It's equally hilarious and heartbreaking. And when I say that, this show has made me cry several times. It's a weird one because you go from laughing your ass off to seriously feeling a bit blue. It's a dark show. It's dark, but it's really beautifully done as well. So I'm looking forward to see what he's got in store for us with that one.
We talked about this last year, but I still haven't seen season 2. Just it's one of those shows that season 1 was beautiful. Like a lot of his stuff, a lot of his sitcoms, it was beautiful. But I'm just not in the right headspace still. Just this is last year for watching, because I know it's going to push all those triggers and stuff. But I am looking forward to watching it when I can kind of get.
Well, to be honest, it makes ET look like fucking Reservoir Dogs. So
I can imagine.
Stay away for a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It puts it to shame, mate. It's fucking. And the worst thing is, for all those people out there who hate Ricky Gervais, I've been there, man. I hated him with a passion for years. He eventually won me over with things like Extras and Afterlife and Derek. and his stand-up, which I started watching and giving it the time of day, and it's really, really well put together. So yeah, I concede defeat. Ricky Gervais is all good by me, and he just keeps proving himself time and time again. He's annoyingly good. It'd be so easy to hate him, but he's really, really good at what he does.
I like it. I've always liked his stuff. I think he's, you know, do you know he does what he wants to do, and I like that. I like
what I didn't like about him was the first encounter I had with him was on the 11 o'clock show back in the late 90s, where he used to do this one-man reporting thing, and it was all done from the opinion of a guy who doesn't give a fuck about anything and hates everything. And it was really hard at the time, not knowing the guy, to know he was joking. I just didn't know he was joking. I just thought he was a prick. And I judged him by that standard, but for the longest time, I didn't even watch The Office when it came out. I came late to that as well. But yeah, I mean, now can do no wrong in my book. He's great.
Well, you say that. I mean, I challenge you to watch his YouTube channel. I mean, I like Ricky Gervais's work, but his YouTube channel was just kind of him just chatting to the camera, and he's pretty much done a show every day throughout the whole.
I've watched some of them, and I think he's got quite a lot to say. The good thing about it is he'll say what he wants, and he's not bothered, and it's good. And you know, it's you don't find that a lot. You know, you find all these people trying to be careful of what they're saying, or they're really like filtered or whatever, but he calls people out, and I like it. I like the fact that he'll say,
I mean, the stuff he did at the Golden Globe.
The thing they did with the that fucking horrible song that the celebrities did at the start of lockdown.
Imagine.
Yeah, he called out straight away. He was like, "What the fuck are they doing?" It's a lot of,
awful. Yeah.
He's not afraid of speaking his mind, and the thing is, it comes back to that old issue about comedy. We need those people that are still not scared of telling the odd un-PC joke or just speaking from the top of the mind, because otherwise comedy would be a pretty bland affair. Yeah. And if you want a perfect example of that, the last stand-up he did that came out on Netflix had some really, really out there stuff about people always saying that him and his partner should have a child. And the reasons he gives for not having a child, it's topical stuff, man. It's really ballsy, out there stuff. And he makes no apologies. It's like, fuck it, it's comedy, you know.
Mike said I wasn't a fan until I saw him torture Calvin.
Yeah. See, that's a side of him that I still can't square away. Is this weird bully inside. I watched a thing of his where he was in his office and he meets Elmo. Elmo comes to London. Have you seen that? And then he brings Warwick Davis out and he sits him on his fucking knee and he's tickling him it's like tickling, and he's pissing himself all the way through.
Yeah.
Elmo doesn't get a word in edgeways. He's tickling Paul Warwick Davis.
I literally watched that the other day. It's funny you mentioned that.
The best thing Ricky Gervais has done,
that Warwick Davis series were brilliant, though.
Life's Too Short.
Only one series, wasn't in a special. It was like, it was good. That
the best thing he's done. I don't know if either of you really got into it, but I've got all of the podcasts that he did, and he's got an extensive collection of podcasts out there with a lot of different series and different topics and sort of focuses and stuff. But they were incredible, and seeing that kind of that relationship between him, Steve Merchant, who I'm not a big fan of, and Carl Pilkington was it's kind of watch that develop was brilliant. And some of the funniest things. Have they actually fallen out? Because
I believe so. They don't really work together anymore. Stephen Merchant's finally got his foot in the door in Hollywood. I don't know if you've noticed, but he's popped up in a few roles in quite big movies, comedy movies.
Jojo Rabbit, and I think
so. I don't think he needs to rely on Ricky Gervais as much anymore, or maybe that shtick of Ricky Gervais being a constant pain in everybody's ass is worn thin with them, because he used to do it to them, didn't he? He's always pinning people down and fucking tickling and punching and screaming.
Robin Ince and people like that. I went to university with somebody who ended up being his tour manager, and he said it was fun, a lot of fun. It was sort of rock and roll, but very full on. But you had to be ready
to get sellotape too.
Yeah, exactly.
Filing cabinet.
Wake up in a bowl of water and find you've wet the bed or something.
You can think of worse ways to earn a living, I guess, even as a tour manager, couldn't you?
I'll tell you what, I mean, if anything to be envious about, regardless of his career, his money, or how funny he is or isn't, it's the position he's got. That is an enviable position to be in. He gets to pick whatever he wants to do. He gets to do whatever he wants. He's writing constantly. He's a lucky guy. You know, I know he's worked.
Do you know he turned down? He got offered the role. I think this is true. He got offered the role that Simon Pegg does in Mission Impossible films, and he turned it down because he said, "I don't want to." He said, "I don't want to do that." He said, "I want to
lose the weight and shit."
Well, no, just I don't want to work for a studio or being in a little
Scientologist.
Well, being in a bit part, you know, with you just reminded me. There was some news this week as well. There's more news coming out now. Tom Cruise was in Malta.
Yeah.
Filming Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
It was at the what was it? The North Yorkshire Railway. So
I mean, surely that's going to be a fucking slow point in the movie where they go to a steam train station.
I don't know. It's so odd, isn't it? It's so odd.
A shootout in Betty's tea rooms.
It's so strange.
He's usually running up the face of a skyscraper or running alongside a jet plane on a runway. In this case, he's just got to walk slowly next to a steam train that's slowly pulling out of the station.
It's you can't believe that it's weird, isn't it? Because they filmed the Harry Potter stuff there, didn't they? But yeah, you think, wow, that's interesting. Because I've got the director of it on
Speed Dial.
No, on Instagram, and he puts pictures up from the movie all the time. You know what they're filming, and it's like all these exotic places. Like they were up a mountain with this big ramp. What they were doing a stunt off, and in the middle of desert, and then they go to Pickering.
What's he doing? Is he going to do film a scene at Flamingo Land or something?
I don't know. Really odd. Yeah, odd.
It's a weird one. Fair enough. Yeah, we'll see when the movie comes out.
How are we doing down there, Rob? How's the X-Men coming along?
It's going to be finished before we finish talking about Bill Murray. By the looks of it, look at this.
So we're halfway through in terms of the bags and the parts.
Wow.
Don't forget to fuel it up.
What's it actually run on then?
We don't know, but they made fuel a big deal in that Last Jedi film, and everybody were like, "What? They can run out of fuel." But then you go watch the other ones, and they do actually fuel up.
See, they needn't have bothered, because all they needed to do was say, "Look, it's set in space in a fictional world. They don't need petrol. These cars, these ships, they just run on space fumes or crystals or some shit." I don't know.
We got this from Martin. I once met Warwick Davis and nearly had an argument with him as he was blocking my car in at work. When he came out, as I didn't know whose van it was, I was kind of...
Oh, God, you just reminded me of one of the cringiest outtakes I've ever seen with Warwick Davis trying to get out of his Range Rover in a scene in Life is Short when he pulls into his car park, his own house, his driveway, and Ricky Gervais is there directing it. And Warwick Davis opens his car and he keeps falling out of his fucking car, and Ricky Gervais is just in stitches. And it's so un-PC to just stand there laughing in the face of a little person, but he doesn't care. He just doesn't care. Anyway.
So we have got some Bill Murray to talk about.
Oh, come on.
Right, we'll call you.
I mean,
get on live.
It's tempting.
I'm starting to think maybe it shouldn't mean you two, and somebody's got sick in my family, and I better check up on them.
Oh God, could you imagine? Maybe we need to send a text.
Seriously.
Wait a minute, my phone's off. You put it on. There's just like 80 missed calls. I've been saying, call me.
Oh God. Now I'm worried.
Because there's no winky face at all. No, like, I mean, that one, but you get a little kiss. But then that one, it's just call me. So
yeah. Shall we all call her?
Purdy's.
Call her again live on the show.
Our sponsor this week, Purdy's.
Is it our sponsor? Because
it is our sponsor.
There's only one of us.
You got a bottle of it to sponsor it, did you?
I get to buy a bottle of Purdy's. That's how it works, right?
No.
Is that not how? What?
No, we need. You need to get us all something sent. For it to be a sponsor.
Well, can't you all buy a bottle of Purdy's? And then
they're supposed to send you it for free. You're supposed to get it for free.
I just realised this T-shirt doesn't say Elvis at all. Fucking eBay, damn you.
Did you get it from Gooseland?
Oh, right. What are we on about
this
now?
This week, I set Webby and Lummy the task of coming up with their best and worst Bill Murray films.
It's not an easy task.
It's not actually an easy task.
He's been in some pretty fucking good stuff, and he's had a pretty long career as well.
Well, I changed my own criteria for this one just because it's difficult. It's difficult picking a best one because it's just, yeah. It's just
Do you want to go first for a change?
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
yes,
go first.
Yes, I will. I've never done this. Sorry, it feels like I'm using my left hand. Okay, so my best Bill Murray film. Again, tough one. I kind of gave you guys a selection because I thought you guys might have been going for one of these. So I was like, I could pick any of these. But
one sec. We've got a new user, I think.
Hey, Zach, how are you? Very nice to meet you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the community. It's nice to have you. If you have a best and worst Bill Murray film, feel free to jot them down because that's what we're talking about now. Lovely to have you on board. So my best Bill Murray film, I am going to say, is going to be Ghostbusters. Just because, again, for me, I've come to realize a lot of the times when we're talking about best and worst films, or when we're talking about Star Wars and things like that, for me, I'm really influenced by the nostalgia and by how something made me feel at the time, and about sort of how it captured my imagination as a kid and how it made me want to be a Ghostbuster. And I lived in this big old building at the time as well, and it was brilliant.
Have a fireman's pole in it.
Didn't have a fireman's pole in it, no.
Can you imagine though? Jesus.
Oh,
that would have been living the
that
dream.
Would have been. I mean, yeah. I mean, that is literally the reason they got the fire station, though, isn't it? Because one of them was a massive kid and loved, the fact that it had a fireman's pole in it. And I was struggling with to go for Ghostbusters 1 or 2 in here as well, just because the whole stuff with the baby in Ghostbusters 2, it's not a huge range of acting emotion when you kind of look at some of his other roles that he's played. But I just love Peter Venkman. Is just a fucking brilliantly flawed, funny, sarcastic, really lazy.
Do you know what I mean? I love the fact that he's like this scientist, but he's too lazy to actually.
Oh, jeez. It's exactly the way he is at the university in the meeting they have right at the start. The way he is with Dana Barrett when he's trying to flirt with her. Then when when he goes to replace her on a date and she's flying above the bed, and the way it's just the Peter Venkman as a character is absolutely brilliant. And I can't imagine Belushi ever playing that. I mean, I can imagine Belushi playing that role. I mean, it's who it was written for. But I'm so glad that we're in the universe where this happened. Because
it's that question again, isn't it? Imagine the film as that other version.
Just about to say, wouldn't it be amazing if we're getting all these Snyder cuts and possible reworkings of Game of Thrones season 8 and all this shit. People are re-editing their own stuff. It's kind of fashionable now. I think it'd be really awesome if we could stream the multiverse of films so you could see the alternate versions from all the different dimensions. So you would get your version with Eddie Murphy and John Belushi and whoever else was supposed to be in it. I think that'd be really awesome.
It's just there's a universe somewhere where Bill Murray is playing, and go and fucking Google it because it's true. But there's a universe somewhere where he's playing Han Solo, he's playing Indiana Jones, Buzz Lightyear, and Forrest Gump. I mean, that's again a range of films. Yeah. So I'd say Peter Venkman is one of my favorite Bill Murray characters, and
classic character.
He plays
are you looking forward to Ghostbusters 3 then?
I'm really looking forward to it.
Official Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah, I enjoyed the other Ghostbusters. I saw it for what it was and was able to kind of put my.
The canon Ghostbusters.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the shock effect of that stupid mini Marshmallow Man scene's worn off for me now, and I am still looking forward to it. I think I would have appreciated not seeing that scene because it's a piece of the movie. I don't mind seeing a trailer. When you put together a trailer, you give away the best jokes.
Yeah,
there's so many that give you the best jokes in the trailer.
This is the trouble, though. Like I said last time, they've had to start showing people stuff because it's getting spoiled everywhere because all these merchandising things. There's a ghost. We've never shown it on here. There's a ghost literally on another piece of packaging, a toy packaging or something. That's been leaked as well. So I reckon they'll show that next.
Well,
it's
the
like
thing is, as well, as like you said, they don't want a warehouse full of Ghostbusters cereal going stale, do they? Before they can sell it all. So
right. It'd have been long out by now, wouldn't it? It was supposed to be November, wasn't it? Last year that it were. Was it?
Yeah, summer last year, wasn't it? Summer,
yeah.
What it's done by releasing that little scene by itself, it just makes it look like it's setting the tone for what the rest of the film's going to be like. And I think that's
don't forget though, at the start of the clip, a woman's like screaming, and you've got that music and everything. It's setting it up, but I think I honestly believe this is when like the Ray's got to choose a thing again. You know, and he goes, I want to do, right, I made a mistake last time, I went big and with Marshmallow Man came, I'm thinking something small, and then he goes...
In which case, you definitely ruined one of the best jokes in the film that we're about to watch.
Well, it's pretty obvious, all you have to do is think about what could happen.
Obvious to me, till you fucking blew it, so you started telling me about it.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
I'm only kidding. No, I am still looking forward to it. I'm hopeful.
My money's still on this. The fact that they've had extra time now, I reckon they've gone and got that Rick Moranis cameo in it now. I reckon they've done that. I hope they have. Because he wasn't due to be in it, but I reckon they've got him in. And I'd love to see him at the end.
The question, right? If you're going to do a sequel 30 to 40 years later, do you really need every single person that was in the first movie in it? Does it have to be everybody?
You don't have to, but it's nice.
It doesn't, does it?
Well, it can't have Harold Ramis in it, but they keep talking about the fact that he's going to be honoured in this film. So you're either going to see a CGI ghost of him or a fucking...
It's going to be a ghost. Ghostbusters, isn't it?
And
that would be great. That would be really nice, actually, to see him come back as a ghost.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm just hopeful it's going to be really good.
I'm hoping. I'll tell you what I am hoping with it. I hope they don't I don't think they will. I hope they don't overdo the CGI. You know, like...
Yeah.
Like even them little marshmallow things are obviously CGI'd then. I'm thinking, I hope they don't go crazy with it and start. I don't think they will because Jason Reitman knows his stuff and he's said practical all the way. So
he don't want disowning, does he? His dad might be like, you're out of the family, you've fucked up my franchise.
I mean, he must have had a good idea for him to actually get on board again, you know. And
I reckon this sort of idea has been kicking around for a good 10 years of what would you do with the Ghostbusters if you were going to make a movie now? How are they all going to be in their old age? Who survived? Who didn't? You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. It's altogether plausible that Louis Tully died. You don't have to have Rick Moranis in it, especially if it's not as good.
I reckon he's going to run in at the end of the movie and go, I'm here, and he's got this proton pack on. And he goes, did I miss it?
Thanks for fucking spoilers.
Did I miss it? And I'm like, where have you been?
Somebody let me in.
It's going to be really upset if that does happen. I'm going to be really upset if that does happen now. But yeah, so Peter Venkman, I just think, was an iconic Bill Murray character. And as a kid, he made me want to be a Ghostbuster. So,
what about your worstest one?
My worstest one.
I'm just going to say we'll do comments for best and worst for audience after we've done ours.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a weird one, and I don't know if it's just me not getting it, but I think I tried to watch it with you, Webby, one Christmas, and it was the Netflix Christmas special he did, the Very Murray Christmas.
I can second that. It was pretty turd.
I agree.
I just didn't get it.
I hate saying it. I hate saying it, but you bang on. I didn't even
watch it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I got about 30 minutes in. I was like, I just don't get this.
Yeah,
I watched it and I thought I thought this will be great, and I was waiting for ages for it and everything. And you watch it and go, what were the idea here? It's really weird.
Yeah.
Sophia Coppola as well, wasn't it? Who put it together, and you're like, what?
Yeah, I just really struggled with it. Yeah, and I've got nothing else to say about it because I didn't watch the full thing. I didn't get it. I wasn't sure if it was just me or whether whether. Well,
the premise of it's snowed in, hasn't it, at a TV studio? Is that right? And it's and they're all the acts decide to put on a show anyway. Well, just like really odd.
It's a bit GCSE drama. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, okay, yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah, so that was my worst, and
it's got George Clooney singing with Miley Cyrus, I think.
Yeah.
Where can how could it possibly go wrong from?
yeah. It's not great, is it?
Who's next? Do you want to go next, Lumb?
I can do, yeah. If that's.
Go on, Lumb, what's your best Bill Murray?
My best, again. There's so many good ones. It's hard to choose, so I ended up just going for the. I went for the one that I watch probably the most out of all of them, and it's Groundhog Day.
Yeah. That could have been one of mine as well.
I tell you what, I'm not even a big fan of Andy McDowell, really, and I like her. I don't mind her in this, so that's a testament to the film, because usually I'm not that bothered about her, watching her and stuff. And it's just a great movie. It's a great idea. Kind of the original. There's been loads of copies of this, haven't there? Since, but the original kind of thing.
The musical was brilliant.
Oh, I've actually seen a version of the musical.
Oh, you'd have seen my mate Andy in it then. He was in it, and when they were rehearsing it, because obviously they're having to repeat things.
The main dude, yeah.
No, not the main dude. He's one of the ensemble. One of the.
I saw a version. I watched it on somebody had uploaded one to YouTube, filming the thing. Yeah.
To get tickets for it, you couldn't get tickets for it.
Yeah, it was only in the States, wasn't it? It's never been over here.
They did it in London. Did it in London.
Oh, I didn't know. I'd love to have seen it.
In which case you wouldn't have seen my mate Andy then, because they did it over here. But to get everything, so they've got things in order to be able to get everything on time at exactly the same way it was when they did that scene before, when they did the day before. But things have to be subtly different, and you have to kind of remember. He said it technically, it was a nightmare to do.
Have you watched it? Have you seen it?
No, I didn't get to see it.
Oh, dude, I think it's still on YouTube. It's really good, even the version that we're on there. And I got the soundtrack album as well. Some really nice songs in it. It's really good.
It's actually, I hope it comes out.
But there's a bit where he's killing himself in the musical. And they've got loads of people playing him around the stage.
Okay, cool.
There's a bit in the shower where he's electrocuting himself.
Yeah.
And then. On the one I watched, there were technical difficulty, and they had to restart that sequence. It went from when he wakes up and again, he goes, "Well, it's Groundhog Day again," and all the audience are like,
That's awesome.
Really funny.
Sorry, I completely interrupted you. So,
but it's cool. It's really good. But anyway, the movie, just a great idea. Harold Ramis directing it as well, and I think he plays it. He plays it so well because they were going to have Tom Hanks originally, and they said he's too nice, he can't do the role.
It's weird how they've turned down or sort of been considered, how they're even considered in the same casting bracket. It's really weird.
Yeah. This is because of who they are, isn't it?
Well, they're both comedy drama actors, aren't they? So
yeah.
I believe personally Tom Hanks could have pulled it off. Probably it would have been a different movie, but in the multiverse, maybe there's one with Tom Hanks in it. I reckon he could have done it. He's as nice as everybody says he is.
But imagine how different Forrest Gump would have been, though. With Bill Murray. It's just really weird.
I'll tell you another thing. I like that poster there, right? That's the original poster. They brought it out on Blu-ray and DVD, and they made a right balls up of the covers. It were awful. And they do it all the time. Why do they change the poster art for these films? They bring them out. Just a bit of a pet peeve there.
One of my favourite things about Bill Murray in this film is that he has that kind of dilly gaff about him. Do I look like I give a fuck? It's sort of thing, when he gets to a certain point in that character arc, and it's just that the resigned to the fact. He plays a really good everyman. And it's brilliant.
The original version, the original script as well, told you why he was stuck in Groundhog Day. I don't know if you know this. It was a curse by his ex-girlfriend. She cursed him. And that's why we're still there, but they cut it out and said we don't need that.
No, I think it's better without the explanation.
Yeah, it is.
It's an anomaly, isn't it? It's just
But from an acting point of view, I love the fact that they're repeating the thing, because you can imagine them filming them, one after the other. I think it's a real interesting.
I'd really like you to have a Butchers of that Palm Springs with Andy Samberg, because it's such a similar idea to Groundhog Day. It makes no bones about it at all. It's an homage.
I've seen a couple of other people recommend it.
Doesn't mention Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day for adults, and it's done so well. It's not a slight on the original. It's completely unconnected.
I will give it a go again. Yeah.
But it was cool, yeah, really. Anybody else out there that's a fan of Groundhog Day, you might enjoy Palm Springs on Amazon Prime.
I'll give it a go, definitely, after you say it.
I'm interested, though, as to what your worst one is, because I bet this was difficult for you, with you being so...
I mean, the thing is, there's so many good ones. You have to just lock down, don't you, and do it, because there's loads. There's Ghostbusters, obviously, but you pick that, Rich. But we do this every week. We've all got. It's a shame we can't call it not best and worst, because it's not the ultimate best. It
doesn't end up being our best or worst.
No, it don't. But
I mean, that's our own criteria that makes it our best or worst.
Another really good one I like of Bill Murray's that you guys haven't picked is What About Bob? Have you ever seen that?
Cracking.
Yeah, it's great. It's
absolutely fucking amazing film.
Yeah,
amazing. I love
Richard
it.
Dreyfuss in that's brilliant.
Yeah. I love it. I love that film. It's a great film.
Yeah,
but I do feel like you're teasing us, Lummy. What's your worst one?
Worst one. Okay, worst one.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Believe it or not, Rich, for a film about a guy who inherits a
worse than Garfield
elephant. Garfield's not that bad for a kid's type thing.
I haven't seen it.
Bill Murray's not necessarily bad in this film. He works well with the elephant. It's still Bill Murray, but it's a shit film.
Yeah, it's that's the idea of it is weird. He gets inherited the elephant off his father, I think. If I remember, I haven't seen it for ages. Yeah. And then he has to take it across country to sell at a circus. He's selling it. He's trying to decide whether to sell it to an animal sanctuary or a circus, or give it to an animal sanctuary, or sell it to a circus. It's like
basically just picture Bill Murray making pithy comments to an elephant for an hour. That's what it is.
It's really odd.
It nearly made it into my worst, but I thought of a better worst, which I'll tell you all about in a minute.
Well, I've not really got much to say about Larger Than Life other than don't watch it if you can. I mean, I don't even know if kids.
Maybe we're wrong.
I don't know if kids would enjoy it either. It's one of them films. Sometimes where you think, I can understand why kids would like this, but even this, you think there's so many adult things in it. I think jokes. You think,
when it comes to a MacGuffin, if you're the kind of person that likes a film because of its MacGuffin, because of its device, in this case, an elephant, and that's all you need to have Bill Murray and an elephant in a movie, then you'll love this movie. Because that's the limit of your imagination. Yeah. But you're right.
I mean, the elephant doesn't even get fully shown on the poster.
I think that's a bit degrading.
He doesn't even do that in the film. That's false advertising. He does not sing down the elephant's trunk.
I'd like to know what the elephant thinks about it. It might be really pervasive. Imagine somebody singing full volume up your fucking nose.
Dude, if that elephant don't want that to happen, it'd let him know.
Yeah, that's true.
It rips his fucking head off.
And before we go to Webby's choice, I've got a couple more Bill Murray facts for you. When he was filming Rushmore, Bill Murray gave Wes Anderson a check for $20,000 to hire a helicopter that they needed for the film that the studio were refusing to pay for. And in the end, they ended up not needing to use the helicopter, or didn't have no use for a helicopter, so they didn't use it. They didn't buy it. And Wes Anderson has the check framed in his house because he was so chuffed. Because it's an indie film effectively, and actually the $20K that he was giving for the helicopter was more than the fee that Bill Murray was getting for the film.
Wow.
Exactly. And when he was filming, for Where the Buffalo Roam, Bill Murray and Hunter S. Thompson, during their downtime, decided to have a Houdini off, and Bill Murray let Hunter S. Thompson tie him to a chair and throw him in a swimming pool where he nearly died and had to be rescued. Have
you guys ever seen that film?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. No.
It's a rare one, but it's really good, actually. It's Hunter S. Thompson, before he became the Hunter S. Thompson that most people know, the drugged-out journalist. He was a straight-up journalist, and that's the point where Bill Murray's playing him from the straight-up bit to where he starts dabbling with drugs and stuff, and it's really well done. It's quite a good film. Quite a rare one.
What's your best or worst, Webby?
The best thing, in my opinion, that happened to Bill Murray after his massive success in the 80s and 90s was getting picked up again by one of my favourite directors, Wes Anderson. And he's been in every Wes Anderson film apart from Wes Anderson's first film, Bottle Rocket. He wasn't in that one. And he's been in like 9 or 10 of his movies now. He's always amazing in it. However, my favourite role of his is one that's just, it's a Bill Murray film pretty much. And it's called The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Look at that fucking cast, man. It's a great cast. The soundtrack is all David Bowie songs, but they're played on an acoustic guitar by this guy called Sue George, who's Portuguese. So he sings all the songs in Portuguese and just has this like flamenco kind of David Bowie-esqueness to the movie. But Bill Murray is the lead Jacques Cousteau kind of crazy scuba diving, fish-obsessed guy who has a boat and all these crazy people that live on his boat. It's a fucking great film. I absolutely love him in that film. Like I say, I love him in all the Wes Anderson stuff. He really is meant to be working with this guy. He really works well with him.
But the red hat that he wears in that film was his choice. He made that recommendation.
And he gives them to all the crew, and you're a member of his crew when you get one of these little red beanie caps.
But the reason was because Jacques Cousteau used to wear a red beanie hat, and that's who the character was based on. So it was his choice.
It is very, very Wes Anderson, very indie, very different, but also it has this thread of. There's a beautiful story where basically he finds out he's got a long lost son played by Owen Wilson, and they're like bonding throughout this film. And he's trying to teach him how to be Jacques Cousteau. It's just a great little film, very silly, very beautiful looking. The guy who did the animation for all the underwater sequences. Or the fish that you see, because the part of it is there's this legendary, I can't remember the name of the fish, but it's a legendary fish that nobody's ever caught, and they find this fish under the water. But it's all done with stop motion animation by the guy who did Nightmare Before Christmas. He came in and did all the animations for it. But it's really cool, really, really cool film.
What's your worst film?
My worst one is, this happens quite often. An actor like Bill Murray gets cast in some cool films, some indie films, and he gets a bit of street cred. So people think, well, give him more of that. It doesn't always work. There's a film called Broken Flowers by Jim Jarmusch, who's a really beloved director that I don't rate very highly at all. And it's just a terrible, depressing, boring. It's not very funny. And when he is trying to be funny, you can't tell. It's like all the jokes have been muffled. Do you know what I mean? It's just not a winner for me. And it's a great example. The same thing happened to Jack Nicholson after As Good as It Gets. They started because he won an Oscar for that, and it was a bit of an offbeat film, a little bit different. They started putting him loads of stuff like that, and About Schmidt came out. You either love that film or you hate it. I hate it. I really hated it.
You're right, though. They wanted it to be exactly like As Good as It Gets.
And that's Broken Flowers and Wes Anderson. It's like the same thought process. People have no fucking imagination in Hollywood at all. Do you know what I mean? I'll just make them do that again. So it doesn't always work.
And can we go, Rob? Do you have? I can see you're getting quite close to actually finishing the build.
Luke's in the cockpit. Luke's going in.
Yeah,
ready.
Yeah.
Is that the stickers on? Is that the stickers on as well?
Yeah, everything is.
Wow.
How did you get on with the stickers, Rob? I fucking hate stickers.
So do I. I mean, hopefully they look all right on the camera.
Do you know what? It was probably really good. It was probably really good that we didn't notice you putting the stickers on, because we'd have probably ended up kind of. It's all right. No one's watching, Rob. Don't worry. No one's judging you.
Can you pick it up and give it a flip around? Give us a twirl, Rob. Oh, I like it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking on the wrong camera output there.
No, that's good, man. I'm going to get this one. I'm going to get it.
It does look rather nice.
Should we see what Daisy thinks? Whoa!
Oh, Rob.
I mean, she's a Star Wars fan.
She's going to regret putting that.
Like herself an X-Wing.
She won't be watching. She'll watch for 10 minutes.
Yeah, she'll come on, put that and bug it off.
No, it's all right. It's what we'll do. I'll edit together a highlights package and send it to her. Just give that.
We've got some. We've got a few more comments.
What's up? So what else? So just the X-Wing, because Rob has put a lot of effort into doing that. So the wings. What else happens? You got any lasers?
There are a couple of firing bits. Let's see if I can get this on a camera. And if I flick There.
Oh,
Hey!
shot his
I
load
get the other
all
one as
over
well.
the place.
It's just like that massage parlour from earlier.
That's what I call a happy ending. So what figures do you get with this one, Rob?
So
I'm guessing you get loot.
How easy was them? Sorry, what figures did you get?
So figures in there, we have what appears to be Leia.
What?
We have a nice R2D2, which is great.
Why the fuck have they put Leia in there? That's weird.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where Leia comes in.
Because she goes to meet him when he jumps out of X-Wing at end of New Hope.
Well, he accidentally calls her Carrie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm struggling to work out who the Whitehead character is.
That's he's a new figure. It's actually worth quite a lot of money because it's the first time I've ever done it. And
he's out of New Hope, isn't he?
Don't lose that one, Rob. Don't lose that
General
white hair.
Yeah, fair enough. It's been a while since I watched New Hope then, because I honestly didn't recognise the character.
Yeah, but that's the point
does
we're at now, Rob.
R2 fit in the top?
I believe
it does, but
there.
It fucking sticks out a mile. Look at this. This is what they've fucked up on this. Look at that.
But you know what? I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that.
It should just be the top of his dome, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but that's all right.
You don't want to lose it, though, do you? You don't want to get him stuck in there.
Exactly. How'd you get him back out?
I'll just lift.
It really does.
No. If it was just his head,
if it was all the way down,
it would be
a nightmare.
So how difficult was it putting the mechanisms together to do the wings and do the lasers?
Really simple. There's absolutely nothing to it, to be honest, on this one.
Okay.
They've simplified the mechanism that opens the wings. They've simplified it all. In the original one, it had like little bits of technique. You had to turn something and it opened itself.
Yeah.
But this all just like clicks into place now.
Oh, I've just
there's just a little bit to push on there for that one.
Can I share my screen? Right, This is really interesting here. You're gonna like this.
Is this news just in? Breaking?
Yeah, I can't share the. Why can't I share the? Can't share my window. I'll have to download the film. Hang on, bear with me.
Rob.
So while Lumb is doing that, go on, Nathan.
I was going to say, Rob, give us some Bill Murray. What's your best Bill Murray?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Best Bill. The obvious one to go for is Ghostbusters. It's a classic, but because that's already been picked, something else I always really loved. No, something else I always loved, an old one, Scrooged. So Ghostbusters, Scrooged, and Ghostbusters 2, I think, were the ones that I put down as saying, if anybody hasn't got any of these, I will pick one of these.
There's a couple I've never seen by him that are really famous. The really early ones, Stripes and Meatballs.
Stripes is brilliant. Stripes is really good.
And it's got John Candy in.
Yeah. Couple of other Bill. Oh, what was your worst one, Rob? Your worst Bill Murray?
For me, it's actually one of the ones Nathan liked. It's actually Royal Tenenbaums, but I don't think that's necessarily because it's Bill Murray that's bad. I'm not a Wes Anderson fan.
Fair.
Right.
Yeah, it's the style of the film. That would be what I would say for me is a Bill Murray film I don't particularly enjoy. But I say it's more the director than it is Bill Murray for me. I don't think there's actually a performance of Bill Murray's that I haven't thoroughly enjoyed.
I was just about to say, Rob, I love that film personally. Like I say, I'm really lucky that I can get into Wes Anderson stuff. I know not everybody can, but he isn't bad in that film at all. Like you say, the film might not be your cup of tea, but if you ever rewatch it, you'll notice his bits. They're really, really well done, really well put together. He's not a massive character in it. He's getting cheap.
One film I should probably rewatch.
It's a brilliant film for me. I love it. The first time I watched it at the Odeon when we weren't there, and I hated it. I didn't get it. I was like, "What? This is the most depressing piece of shit I've ever seen." Somehow or other, I ended up watching it again, and it was like mishearing a song that you loved. Do you know what I mean? I was like, "What did I not get about this the first time?" It's fucking amazing. It's complete opposite effect. But yeah, Bill Murray's getting cheated on in that movie, and he plays it really well. He's a really sad like professor. It's quite cool. But yeah,
thank you. Scott, I was just going to say thanks for building that X-Wing for us, Rob. That looks awesome. Lummy, what were you wanting to show that you've downloaded?
I'm going to blow your mind here. Are you ready for this?
I mean, that's
I did a bit of checking because I thought
is it Peter Rabbit? Is it Peter Rabbit?
No, we're not mentioning Peter Rabbit. But have a look at this little image here. You were moaning about R2D2 in his X-Wing. That's from A New Hope. Look where he is.
Interesting.
Right, now, look at the Empire Strikes Back version.
Yeah.
That's the one I
And that's the one that we've all got in our heads, isn't it? That's
I knew it. I remembered him being higher up in New Hope.
Okay.
Interesting.
So you've got. So it's accurate, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Well, it's accurate to A New Hope.
Well, it's clearly the New Hope model, though, isn't it? Because you've got Princess Leia in her original outfit, and you've got that general dude.
Aesthetically, personally, I prefer the lower down thing. It just feels like it's a bit. In fact, sadly, when this model came out, I watched a guy show you how to mod it so you can lower him a bit by taking a few bricks out because it was pissing him off that much.
He's clearly not looked at the thing.
Yeah,
we've got a couple more comments about Bill Murray.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Lost in Translation.
Yeah, great film. Nice one, if you Dak.
Good one. I enjoyed that when it came out. What else we got? And he says that at the end, doesn't he, of it? You don't know what he says to her.
Yeah.
Never nobody's ever going to know, are they?
Yeah.
He goes, I liked doing Ghostbusters too. And they're like, what? No, but he said it to her. She's like, that's his secret.
I don't think he does. I think he says to her.
Go on, what's
I think he says to her, I can smell your pussy. I think that's
what he
says. Yeah, in her ear. That's what he says.
No. Best got to be Ghostbusters, worst Ghostbusters 2018 one.
Yeah.
Was he in that?
Too. Oh, yeah,
he was a taxi driver, wasn't he?
No, he was
he was the professor, sorry, yeah.
Who literally sits down in the park.
Yeah.
He literally walks in and goes, I want to sit down. Then they kill him off.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. He's got a really good cameo in Zombieland when they end up at Bill Murray's house.
Bit more love for Lost in Translation as well.
That's his best cameo, that by far.
Great. Yeah. Groundhog Day's brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's a real love story, that is. A couple more Bill Murray facts before we move on. Bill Murray in Kingpin really scored the turkey at the end there. The turkey is 3 strikes in a row, and it surprised the shit out of everyone. And that reaction was the genuine reaction from everybody, all the cast on set. And Bill Murray in 1975 played the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four. He was the voice for the Human Torch when he was an up-and-coming actor. There you go. Bill Murray facts.
Wow.
So we had a watch through of Return of the Jedi again.
Sorry, guys. This is it now. We're fucking done. We're not going to do the new trilogy for some time.
Yeah, we will do
Star Wars out.
We'll do them eventually.
Every time Lumb gets bored and can't think of what to do, he goes, let's do Star Wars. We're like, bloody hell. All right, let's do it. All right, Lumb. But we're done now.
So, Return of the Jedi. How did you guys find Return of the Jedi on this watch through?
Well, it was on that watch through. I'm gonna say.
I've got to say, I love the logo, the old logo. First of all, there you go.
Oh, yeah. So I haven't seen the original Return of the Jedi. I've only seen the remastered one. I saw Star Wars when I was a kid, fell in love with it, but didn't realize that there was an Empire Strikes Back or a Return of the Jedi. And then I was a teenager. So I was like 17 by the time I actually got around to watching them. So I've only seen the remastered versions.
And that's interesting because that forms that's part of the reason.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I agree.
I love these movies for nostalgic reasons. And like I've said time and time again, when I rewatch them, they don't always do the same thing for me. And I start thinking, oh, God, childhood was a lie. These movies actually stuck. You know, not all the time, but in fact, this time around with Return of the Jedi, I didn't think that. But yeah, I just wonder how that helps.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I think that
you haven't got that childhood memory of it.
Exactly that, which is why A New Hope is always going to be my film. How about you, Lummy? Did you watch it through again this time?
Yeah, have you ever seen it, Lummy? I don't know if you've seen this one.
I watched both versions because I had to. Because I watched the special edition one first, and I thought I need a palate cleanser, so I'm going to watch the original. Because this is one of those things where you think, why is some of this extra stuff in this film? It's absolutely. It's one of the. It's a case of why have you put it in? It doesn't enhance anything. If anything, it detracts from a lot of it. So I'm not.
What specifically talking about big changes? Because that's what Gittins is saying. He didn't know what those changes are.
Right. So I have actually got the list of what the change. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it. Go for it.
It's a good idea. Right. So in Jabba's palace, basically, you know the dancing girl in Jabba's palace. Mm-hmm. The original version of that, you didn't see her go into the Rancor pit. It literally. She fell in, and then you just heard her get killed, right? In the special edition version, they inserted the scene where she's down there, and you see the gate open. They got the actress back to film the scene.
Yeah, all those I know, it's the same woman. Yeah.
She looks great and everything, but and people say, no, it's not too bad. That's an example of one that isn't too bad. You think don't really need it, but it's not a blatant like what. When they arrive at Jabba's palace, they've extended the front gate. There's a shot where it pans in, and the gate is like 6 times the size it was originally in the film, and there's no reason for it. And you're like, why? And then it goes to a shot inside, and the gate's small, and it's like, what? You know what I mean, Webb? Really weird, really bizarre. I don't know why they did it. It doesn't make any sense. They put that song in it, obviously. This song number
awful. That song is awful.
Yeah, but really to be honest with you guys, I did a bit of research on this because I couldn't remember. I've seen the special edition now more times than I've seen the original. So although I like to think I can remember the tune for that original, I couldn't remember it. So I went on YouTube and I googled the original. And the original ain't that good either, man. To be fair, it sounds a bit like Prince. It's got a really groovy background, but it's still a bit shit. It's just
but what it is it's that thing of it's not out of place though. But sticking
it's like it's from a completely different film. It really jarred me when I was watching it the other day. I was just like, fucking hell.
Yeah. I don't mind it when they have like an alien in the background to make it a bit more. You know, we talked about Empire Strikes Back where they did all the backgrounds and made it more open. That's fine.
And some of the shitter puppets that have always looked a bit shit have been replaced by really beautiful looking CGI. Well, slightly out of date, beautiful looking CGI now.
But but there's some weird like when they go out to the desert, there's a bantha herd like in the desert. That's
Yeah,
and you think that's okay, it doesn't matter, you know, it's fine. It doesn't detract from the stuff, but it's when they do there's a bit where the end bit where Vader, this really changes the film, right? So in the original version, Darth Vader picks up the Emperor, chucks him down the shaft, doesn't say anything, right? In the special edition version, he goes, no, and then he picks him up and goes, no, and throws him down the thing, and you're like, why did you put that in?
Somebody's just got a fetish for Darth Vader saying no, haven't they?
It's like, what is that? Because, the criticism of that is to say that it's actually dumbing it down for the audience, so you're supposed to know what he's thinking. And you're like, we know what he was thinking anyway. He's looking at his son get electrocuted, and he's looking at it's like
chucks a motherfucker over the barrels. Yeah, we knew.
Pretty obvious.
Pretty obvious that he's got murder on his mind. I tell you what change they made, Lumb, that I noticed this time around that isn't for the better at all, and it's a perfect example of how too much CGI ruins the pudding, or whatever the phrase is. And it's the Sarlacc pit. In the original, you've just got a fucking empty hole that's menacing as hell with a bunch of teeth around
and they actually made it. They made that.
Yeah, they dug it out.
They actually made that in real life.
It's a pit of death. Like, it's completely terrifying. But then they've put this stupid Audrey 2 plant
belch. A belch. I mean, what is the
belch has always been there. That's always been
it? Really?
Yeah.
What is George Lucas's obsession with flatulence? It's just everything's fucking farting and burping in all of the Star Wars films at the minute.
To be fair with you, farts are really funny in my house, so I can't.
Farts are funny, but they just seem really out of place in a Star Wars film.
Right. So. The other thing, the massive, when this first came out, it was a huge deal, and it's the replacing Anakin Skywalker at the end of the movie.
I mentioned that. I've made a note of that because somebody please explain that. We've just seen him die as an old man. Why would his fucking ghost be 20 years old?
Right. Well, they say that it goes back to when he turned from the dark side. That's the explanation for it, I think.
It's a bullshit explanation.
Right, and then you think, right, if you were going to die. And you think, I look all right at the moment. I'm a Jedi, I look all right. I'm going to turn to the dark side before I start getting grey.
It's a bit weird, isn't it? And the other thing is, I've just seen the scene today where he takes off his helmet, And he says, you know, Luke, you know, I want to look at you with my own eyes and all that shit. And he says, you were right. You were right. I've always been good. That's my dark secret, is I've always been a little bit good. Tell your sister you were right about me. So therefore, he's redeemed himself right there, and he's a fucking Jedi again. He's back in the good graces. So that's a bullshit explanation.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And also, if Luke saw him stood on the thing like he does, his ghost coming, he'd probably go, "What the fuck's that?" Because I just saw an old man die in my arms. I didn't see.
And also, when everyone else came back as a ghost, they always came back as the person, as the person that they like. Same with Obi-Wan. You know, he didn't come back as Ewan McGregor.
Oh, well. Maybe he will one day. Maybe they'll do it.
Yeah.
Right, I got one for you guys.
I reckon they're filming it on the green screen right now.
I wrote this down in the form of the Empire discussing the second Death Star, right? And I've put, guys, we're going to build a second Death Star. Another guy goes, okay, shall we put some metal sheeting over that hole that let the photon torpedo in last time? And the guy goes, nah, let's just make a big, massive fucking hole that a Millennium Falcon can fly in with an entire squadron. Make a bigger hole. What the fuck is the logic behind that? What is the logic? Make a bigger hole. Are you sure they're not going to find this giant hole and fly inside? No, it'll be all right. Don't worry about it. What? Why are you making the same mistake but making a bigger mistake than you did on the first Death Star? It's a bigger hole. Yeah,
it seems flawed. I think my issue with Jedi is, I hate to say it, it's boring. It's boring compared to the first two. It's boring. So you think about how the other right. Hear me out. Think about how the other two start. The other two start really exciting. So the first one starts off with, I mean, it's got that beautiful shot that just gets your heart racing straight off. You've got everything that's going on board the Imperial ship. You've got the droids leaving. You've got loads, and it's really fast paced. All the information comes out fast paced throughout the whole film. Same with Empire. You know, you got Luke on this fucking snow planet. He's about to die. His mate comes along, uses lightsaber. You know, meanwhile, then the fucking Imperials are attacked. It's really, really fast paced. The start of this is flawed. I mean, Luke's plan. What the fuck is going on with Luke's rescue plan for Han Solo? So I'm going to send in the droids to get captured. I'm then going to send in Leia and Chewbacca to eventually be captured and be prisoners as well. So there's a lot of kind of foresight here with this plan. I mean, he's got to know that Jabba's just not going to kill them straight away there and then. C-3PO go on.
I was going to say, if you actually think about it, he actually goes for that gun in Jabba's palace.
We're going to say that's his first plan. Plan A is to take the blaster off that guy and shoot Jabba in the head in the middle of the eyes. He fails that.
Why? Okay. So why take the gun? Why not have Leia have a lightsaber? And take that in. She's already got no. Let me out. Why didn't she take a lightsaber? Because if he had a lightsaber in that scene, he would have killed the fuck out of everybody straight away. And then he's relying on the fact that, and I don't think you are right. I don't think that was the original plan, because then he's relying on the fact that R2-D2 is going to be taken on the barge with Jabba, so that R2-D2 can send his lightsaber.
Right?
It doesn't make sense.
When everything fails, Han's been freed. Yet Leia's been captured. The droids are captured. They're on the sail. They have to know. They would have to know that they were going to end up on that sail barge for any of Luke's second plan to work.
Because you see him giving them all a nod as well, like a knowing nod, like, yeah, this is the plan all along. They haven't spoken about this plan. They haven't discussed this plan. So what, did he have a backup plan and that was going to be the thing that we are going to be putting? It just doesn't make sense. And it would have been a much more exciting start to the film if he's just going into Jabba's palace to kick the fuck out of them and rescue Han Solo. It would be so much more exciting.
Interesting about this, right, as well.
And also Boba Fett's death is just ridiculous. But yeah, sorry, Robbie.
This is the whole thing, right? They didn't think that Boba Fett... That will come back to that, but let me just go to Princess Leia, right? Princess Leia fucking owns this shit for about 20 seconds. She's on it. She rescues Han. She's doing really well. She's got the thermal detonator. She's threatening. She's a real threat.
Jabba pulls back a curtain and he's watching her all the time.
No, but it's so like girl power before its time, feminism encompassed, but to go straight from that into a fucking slave bikini.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And also, if that's part of their plan,
juxtaposition.
And also, if that is part of their backup plan, then that's a ballsy fucking backup plan to think that Leia, his half-naked, unarmed sister, is going to be able to overpower Jabba the Hutt in a room full of Jabba's friends who aren't going to do anything to it. The whole thing is really implausible. And then obviously what they do with Boba Fett is
now go back
just
to Boba Fett. Just 1
unforgivable.
second. They didn't fucking know what they were doing with Boba Fett. They had no idea why people liked him. They had no idea why people were interested in him. He's not even in the fucking movies. And you're right, that death scene's ridiculous.
However, you say this, right? But in Empire, the scene with Boba Fett, I was watching a thing about it today, and it's really subtle, but they've got him to be a badass. So that scene where him and Luke fight it out, where you see him walk past, and actually you see him give a very subtle side-eye look so that he knows he's there. It does show him as being somebody who is massively competent. So having Han Solo just bumble into him and having him scream like a child, it really was a really poor start to a Star Wars film. Compared to the first two.
Don't forget though, you've got to remember when this stuff came out though as well. 83, Return of the Jedi.
All that stuff that Richard just said.
What's that got to do with
me? For me, it's a great start to the film because everybody's split up. It's all about the unification of the team you want to see together and how they're going to get there. And I don't think it's Star Wars. Of course, it's fucking implausible. It's a sci-fi film. It's a space opera. Do you know what I mean? It's not meant to be real. However,
the issues with the first two.
You're right. There's a string of coincidences, right? First of all, he's a Jedi. He didn't spot the fucking trapdoor underneath his feet, even though.
Why did he have to throw a skull to hit the button? Why couldn't he have just used the Force? All those little bits. I'm just like, it could have been way more exciting.
Do you know the one bit in the movie that makes me cringe is the bit where the Rancor's got the bone in his mouth and he goes like, and it snaps. It just reminds me of when you're eating a Toblerone and it fucking jabs up in the roof of your mouth. Oh, pain like you've never felt, man.
I've got to say about the start, I like it because it's nothing to do with the Imperials. It's a different thing.
And that is my other issue with it. The last film was The Empire Strikes Back. When did they stop striking back?
Yeah, but you get to see something else in the universe in a way. You get to see, we've heard about, if you take it when you were watching the films when they first came out, you hear about this Jabba the Hutt, don't you, and the other in Empire Strikes Back. Everybody's been waiting to see him. So you're not just going to have Luke walk in and kill him. It'd be like, oh, is that it? You've got to think about.
That is effectively what. But okay, so you're just going to get Leia strangling with her own chain. I mean that makes Jabba even worse.
She took the initiative to do that. She was kind of waiting for Luke.
So that wasn't part of Luke's plan.
No. I think Luke was going. Luke jumps on the badge to go and do that. I think I'll take her down and rescue her, but she rescues herself. So
you know what, dude? Luke's a bit bossy on that bit. I find he's a bit like pointing at the deck, bitch. Pointing at the deck. He's like, really? He's a bit mean. I don't like it.
So this is
the dark side in him, won't it, coming out?
This is the other point.
Working on it all the time.
It's my other point in this. I can see why Luke's character changes and Luke becomes badass. I think Luke becomes badass in this film. Like when you really see him as a Jedi, you see him dressed in black. It's brilliant. That's brilliant. It's really exciting. And like I had that Star Wars figure.
Not just that. It's like a swagger he's got because he approached his dad on that little bridge, doesn't he? When he finally meets up with Darth Vader, and he's just having a chat, but he's quite like matter of fact about things.
Especially after their last meeting when he had his hand chopped off by him.
When we're going to the pitfalls of this movie, I think one of the wasted opportunities in this movie is when he goes to Dagobah to watch Yoda die in front of his eyes. Yeah, because the whole point of it is he left too soon. Yoda knew what was going to happen when he left. He knew it was going to make his journey to the light side more complicated. He knew there was a risk of him failing and losing his friends, which would break his heart and making him to another Anakin Skywalker. He knew all of this shit. But when Luke goes back to visit him and he lies down on the bed and starts talking, and he's like, your training's complete. It's like, hang on a minute, how the fuck do you know? Like, what? How do you know? Like, we haven't even had a conversation about. Have you been just watching me all this time? So yeah, there's a few things that like I thought that were a bit of a waste, just fizzling.
How about you, Rob? What do you think of Return of the Jedi? Do you have a favorite out of those three original trilogy?
Out of the three, I mean, I think my favorite for me is probably A New Hope. I do think Return of the Jedi is probably the slowest in terms of storyline. It is probably the weakest of the original three, although I still think it's a very, very good film. Yeah, you've got, like you said, there's just a few bits that stand out. You've got things like the Boba Fett. Again, as it's already been mentioned, that's just a ridiculous death scene. It should not have happened that way. There's no way the character should have died like that.
Sorry, which character?
Boba Fett.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I think that fair enough, kill Boba Fett like that, but then don't make out like he's a big, massive deal. He's the best character in it. He's got fucking 2 lines. He gets knocked off really easily. That's what I think that, I think we need a little bit more evidence that Boba Fett really deserves everybody's attention. You know what I mean?
I suppose that's it, because there's such a limited amount for him between the films there. That you have to take it on the assumption that the impression you've been given that he is this fantastic bounty hunter, is one of the best in the universe. You have to take that as true. To see him just get, like you say, knocked off by Han Solo in a dumb move and takes him out, just ridiculous.
It's almost a bit Anakin in that fighter, isn't it? Whoops!
Yeah. You would kind of half expect Jar Jar Binks to have been the person to knock into him to do all that sort of.
This is something I noticed.
The character of Jar Jar doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Something I noticed in this one, and we always give the prequels a lot of shit for trying to be funny, and they're not funny. They were the first ones, man. Return of the Jedi has got some pretty cheap jokes in it. Number one is when the fucking Ewok accidentally strangles himself with his own string. Oh, ha 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 ha! And then there's Chewie doing the Tarzan yell as he swings through the fucking tree. So it's always had that cheesy. So I'll give him credit for that. I'm sorry,
to go back to what Rob was saying there about it seems inappropriate for Han Solo to be the person to do that in that manner with Boba Fett, and that was an issue I had. Actually, sorry, Lummy, you're hating this.
I'm listening. You always say that. I'm fucking listening, man. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
I have an issue with the character of Han Solo in this as well, and I was trying to work out whether it's because of the because of the carbonite freezing, but it's not, because that was the eyesight thing. That was the negative impact of that. But the character's completely different. I'm wondering if it's a hangover from him wanting him to be killed off.
I actually agree with you on this, and it's when I watched it yesterday, I thought,
he's not as charming, he's not as sarcastic, he's not as funny, he's not as charismatic.
He's a little bitter and jealous as well.
He's bitter and jealous. He's a bit like a bumbling dad a lot of the time, which is why then when he's bumping into, it's kind of like, well, yeah, it kind of is appropriate in.
You're right. Maybe it's hibernation sickness, because when he's in the forest and they see the trap and he goes, "What's that?" and it's quite clearly a fucking trap. And they get.
I don't think it is hibernation sickness at all, because the next step to that was the blindness.
Right. I'll tell you what I don't like as well. The bit where where he goes out and Luke and Leia are talking. He goes out and goes, "Is it Luke who you can tell?" and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Who can you tell? Is it Luke?
And then he goes, "I'm sorry." He's been a bit of a jealous. You're right. I think the character is totally. It's not the cool one from Empire Strikes Back. It was.
And look, let's face it. He's the most fun character in the other two films. Is the most famous, fun, inspiring character in those other two films.
I think it's that fact in this one. He wanted to be killed off, and maybe that's it. He's like.
So
for all of those reasons, it was a worse film. I didn't enjoy it.
The bit where they go into the shield generator and he's blowing it up to try and get the shields down so they can properly attack the Death Star. I noticed this time you see a scene, it cuts away and you see a scene of a satellite dish blowing up from the results of those thermal detonations. The blast radius from this fucking satellite dish would have taken out every single Ewok within a 500-mile radius. It's a fucking huge explosion. So again, I was like, is that connected to the building and blown up, or is that a result? You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out.
It's supposed to be miles away, and it's supposed to be like the other end of the forest.
Because otherwise it doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah. Because he says the bunker's the back door. That's what he says. You know.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's no denying that Ewoks are as cute as fuck. Yeah.
Oh, that's new that you won't know.
The Ewok is great. The Nub.
No, that, but also the blink in this version.
Oh, really?
They never blinked before, which is again another weird thing. It's like, did they need to?
Do you know what else is weird? Right at the end, where you get the new song as we're celebrating, right? There's two things I noticed that are weird. Number one, they were clearly dancing to the original song, because in the background you can see all these rebel fighters doing dad dancing, and it's completely off. It makes it more realistic as dad dancing because it's completely off the beat. Right? But then he pans through all the galaxy and you see Coruscant and they're all going, yeah, and then you see Naboo and you hear from the top of a dome some fucking Gungans, and Jar Jar Binks goes, yeah, we're free! Yeah. Oh my God, we're free! Thank you, Jack.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I did like. One good thing at the end of that, the song like is awful and all that. Should have kept the original. Should have kept Yub Nub. But there is a good addition they put in, which is a bit odd as well. Luke gives Wedge a hug. That's new.
Oh, okay. That wasn't
happening in the original.
Oh no, I like that. I like that.
If Luke gave Wedge a wedgie.
Wedgie, yeah.
Like, come here, you son of a bitch.
Well, that was nice. So, like, he deserves a hug. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
a hug. They should call it Star Hugs, this movie. Because they do hug a lot in it. They're all hugging. And it's nice.
Do we think
that
the final act...
Maybe it was. If Luke had just come on.
Come on, big. I know you're angry.
What are you doing? Nobody's ever reached out to me before and give me an hug.
Oh, electrocute me, man. I'm just.
And then he goes like that. He goes to rub his eye because it's tear and he accidentally electrocutes
his eyeball out. Do we think that the final third of this film would have been better if
you'd have directed it?
Ewoks were Wookiees.
No.
Do you know?
I don't mind. I've never minded the Ewoks. People go mad. I'm like,
no, never had a problem.
I like the.
Rob, hang on, Rob. Hang on, what's that? Rob.
So I was just coming on it because I'm assuming this is coming into the whole thing of a lot of people have an issue with how do the Ewoks defeat the mighty Imperial army?
Yeah.
Weapon.
How do their arrows go through the armor and all of that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I mean maybe some of that with the arrows going through the armor, but you're talking about things like the basic traps in the woods and things like that. I've always seen it, and this is why I think the Ewoks actually work, and why it's never bothered me that it wasn't the Wookiees. I see it as more of a David and Goliath story. It's that little man taking on the big oppressor. It also shows the arrogance of the Empire, that they don't even give any thought to these little woodland creatures could take them out. To me, that actually is a huge part of the story.
Which plays into that rebirth of the rebellion in the later trilogies.
I tell you what I noticed about Ewoks as well.
Yeah,
when we first meet the Ewoks, they're about to eat these fuckers. They're going to eat them. It's only when 3PO steps in. And the other thing is, 3PO speaking 6 million language, and they're like, can you talk to these Ewoks? It's like, oh, I don't know. So that's the one fucking language in the entire galaxy that
you're wrong, dude. You're wrong.
He's speaking a primitive form of the language, right?
Right, but he also says...
It takes him a second to update his database to...
All right. I'll counterbalance that and say there's a really funny line where he says it's against my programming to impersonate a deity.
Yeah, I love that. So. Okay, so this is my This is my other issue with it. This whole thing, it completely took me out of the film, and the fact that he's like, it's part of my programming not to be able to pretend to be a deity, which he then pretends to be a deity, like literally 3 minutes later. That whole
it's Luke who says, he says, tell him that you'll
do that, so he does it, and thereby he's pretending to be a deity.
The best line in this though is where Han Solo's barking orders at C-3PO and he keeps turning around. What's he say to him? Because I love that bit where he's like, he just keeps in one thing after another.
And then he's like, try and get our weapons back, and hurry up about it. We ain't got all day. I like that bit.
Did anyone else also? And it feels like I'm really bagging on this film because I
think you fucking hate Star Wars, man. I think we got
no. I like the Last Jedi.
Yeah, I know.
I like all of the last 3 films. I love New Hope. Love Empire Strikes Back.
All right.
For some reason, this time round, all of these things were just glaring out at me. And look, I love Carrie Fisher, and it's probably inappropriate, like this week of all weeks, to be, but some of her acting choices in this film are really bad. Really bad.
I watched it with a close. I tell you what is bad.
I will send you a couple of scenes where there is some really dodgy delivering in line between her and Luke. It's not.
When Luke comes back from seeing Yoda and he's found out that his sister was there, this is the bit that confounds me. Is he goes, "Do you remember your mum?" And she goes, "Yeah, a little bit I do. Yeah, she was really beautiful and she was really sad." And something else, what did she say? She gives an impression that she briefly remembered this woman, right? You don't remember fuck all from being a baby. Everybody knows that. It's about 3 or 4 that your memory starts to kick in. She died in childbirth. What is she talking about?
No, wait, dude. She got adopted, don't forget, and she didn't know that. She's on about her adopted mother.
But that doesn't make any sense. Why would Luke want to know about her adopted mum? He's trying to find out about his own mum. He's trying to see what she remembers.
She is thinking about
because her mum didn't die when she was young. Her mum survived until her Alderaan blew up.
Right? You don't know that. You don't know that.
No, I don't know. That's why I said right. Questioningly. Well, yeah, that puzzled me.
We don't know. She might be talking about.
But I think that's a perfect example of when they made these movies. They didn't really know how it was going to connect to the prequels, if there were going to be any prequels. So they had to make some hasty excuses up for quite a lot of this shit.
We've got a load of bots, by the way. Look, here we go. Want to be famous? Want to be famous? Want to be famous? Want to be famous?
Can you just hold it up? I do want to be famous. I do want to be famous. How? Dude, I didn't get a chance to write the website down.
That don't bother me too much because there's loads of stuff like that in these films now because they've retconned it all, and it's like it don't make sense, you know.
I like the chat with Obi-Wan and Luke in this after he sees Yoda and Yoda dies, and it gives him some plot exposition, which again accounts for a lot of the prequels because it gives him more details about his father being an amazing pilot and all that shit.
You've also got Obi-Wan's classic get out of jail free line as well. From a certain point of view, it's like what? You can't say that.
Yeah, I can't help but feel that Obi-Wan Kenobi is a bit of a either prankster or incompetent because like in A New Hope when the little hologram of Leia comes out, like it could just be like, oh, by the way, it's your sister. That's your sister. Oh, and that guy, he was your dad. So just why I just don't.
Well, the best thing for me about like Obi-Wan and that what you're just saying there is when he does ask him what happened to his father in A New Hope, Obi-Wan goes, "Fuck!" before he says something. He does do that. So obviously George Lucas put that in and went right.
But again, it comes back to that thing where he gives Luke his dad's lightsaber. It's like you're giving him the lightsaber of a Jedi that murdered thousands of kids. Like you just give here's a weapon handed down from your father. He used it to murder so many children. Like what?
I think they should have had that. Do you know in Force Awakens where she touched the lightsaber and it gave her all in visions? They should have had a bit where it was slaughtering all things. The history of the lightsaber. And that could have made her freak out. That
would have been brilliant.
She goes to touch it on and it just starts pissing out blood everywhere. You're like, what?
Well, that'd have been quite a good thing to react to, wouldn't it? But anyway, there's some other good. I think there's good stuff in it. Speeder bike chase, fantastic. There you go.
Yeah, love the speeder bike chase. I mean, there's loads of things in the film that, for me, were like, yes, this is the start.
I love it when, like in the speeder bike chase, where he jumps off the speeder and he ignites the lightsaber. Love that. Love that bit.
I tell you what would have been a really nice addition to the new the new sequels, is if we saw the bit. If they could explain it, it'd be nice. The bit where Kylo Ren goes to Endor to pick up Darth Vader's melted fucking crusty helmet from the ashes of the pyre that Luke built for him. There's no explanation for that. He just opens his desk and it's like, there's a melted Darth Vader head. I'd really like to have seen how or why how did he fucking know it was there? Like, you know, how has it survived for 30 years, even though it was turned to practically
somebody might Ewoks might have had it in the thing, you never know.
Maybe so, yeah. Maybe that's it. That's just a deleted scene of Force Awakens where Kylo Ren slaughters 1,000
Hey, there were only Wicket and his son left at last number 9, weren't there? You only saw them. Maybe all the rest were dead.
Maybe there was some kind of pandemic. Maybe there was some kind of pandemic, and Wicket and his dad were the only ones that bothered to wear a mask and sanitize, and then all the other Ewoks just died.
All other Ewoks went to sales.
Oh God!
Yeah, they just kept going out and ignoring the lockdown advice from the government.
God,
but that is an Empire move, and those lockdown rules were straight out the playbook of the fucking Empire. I think.
Let's not get it real world. We're talking fantasy. Sci-fi fantasy. My favourite bit in the entire thing, the entire movie, well, maybe it's a bit of a stretch saying that, is where Luke's hid under the stairs and Vader's taunting him. Love it. And he goes, if you will not turn to the dark side, then perhaps your sister will. And he's like, ah! He goes, mental. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Sister.
Yeah. So you're
man.
twin sister.
Yeah, all right, so on a high note, my favourite bit in this has got to be Leia choking out Jabba, because it's fucking cool. I just like that bit. I like that. Yeah. I like that. I like the fact that it's a woman that does it. I think it's really ahead of its time in that respect.
There's a lot to be said for that puppet as well, that Jabba puppet.
Yeah,
it's a great puppet.
Yeah. I have no issues, and you're right. It is cool that she does it. No issues with that at all. It's just the way that it's been set up as this is Luke's plan and blah blah. I just think that's a bit bullshit.
You're right.
I've got no problems. No problems with her.
Too many factors for somebody somebody would need to know about to execute that plan, even for a Jedi.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, but it's a fucking film, so you know.
It's one of them things. It just pulled me out of it, unfortunately. But what's your best thing, Lummy? Have you got another one besides Luke hiding under the stairs?
Can't have two.
Yeah, you can. He said best bit. It might be a bit of a stretch.
All right, I know what you're saying, Webb, about the Death Star reactor and all that flying into it, but I think that is really cool, all that tunnel stuff and all that. And then when it flies, when they blow the thing up and they start flying out, the thing kind of goes like really fast towards the camera, you know, where it.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
great.
That looks cool. What about you, Rob? What's your best thing in Jedi? Have you got a best moment?
It's the destruction of the Death Star again. The only criticism I have to that is it would have been nice to have a different plot point. The fact that it is basically straight out of Episode 4, and just repeat the same plan.
And it's a dumber plan.
I still love it. It's still fantastic.
It looks brilliant, but it's still a dumber plan. Make a bigger hole. All they had to do was put some mesh over it, like some really strong titanium mesh to stop things. It's a mesh.
Some safety glass. Nothing breaks safety.
Yeah.
That stuff
I'm
with
going to change my favourite bit. My favourite bit is the fucking unveiling of Darth Vader. You've seen him walking around in that helmet and just wondering what he's looked like. And when he take his helmet off to reveal a crusty old man, it's fucking great.
I'll tell you, it always makes me wish that they'd made some more films, you know, while they were all, you know, like a few years later after Return of the Jedi. It's always shocked me that they took so long to even, you know, to then make the prequels. If they'd have made even one more film with them in it, watching this again, I thought, you know, what a shame that they didn't make another one with all three of the main groups together.
Okay, I just want to put this point across to you, right? Going back to Ghostbusters Afterlife, this is what I'm worried about. What we thought we wanted from a Star Wars sequel was the whole gang reunited together. Yeah. When we got that and it didn't match up to our expectations,
we didn't get that.
We did.
No, we didn't. Whoa!
They were all in the same film. They weren't really reunited, but they were all in the same film.
They want together. Dude! If they'd have reunited Luke and Leia in that film, it'd have done mega business. Like, I know it did well anyway, but that was what everybody wanted. It's what everybody wanted. It's so weird. It's so weird to me that they didn't do that. They had them all under contract. They had them all agreeing to do the film, and they went, "Nah, we'll keep it." It's like, why? Everybody wanted it. Everybody.
Yeah, but the fear is what we were expecting from the Star Wars.
What was that, Rob? Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say possibly. I haven't seen all these, but possibly it was something they were planning to do towards the end of it to actually bring the reuniting.
The car. You've not seen them, have you? But
no, I've seen the first of the new three, but I haven't seen the latest two.
Well, Han Solo goes, doesn't he? He gets.
Oh, yeah, doesn't it? Yeah, sorry, I've forgotten actually. He goes.
I didn't know if you'd seen it. That's why I didn't want to say it. But they literally killed that idea off as soon as they did that. You're like, well, because in the cinema even you think, well, he's never going to see Luke now again.
Do you think that's an example of an actor having too much power and too much weight then? Because Harrison Ford signed up for this film, A, for the $27 million they agreed to pay him for being on screen for 20 minutes, and B, with the proviso they would kill him off so he never had to talk about fucking Star Wars again.
Do you know what?
So do you think it's him that's cocked it up by...
No, I don't at all. I think it's the writing and the fact that they've kind of not thought about... I mean, they shouldn't go to fan service, but the expectations of that is so much in everybody's mind. How can you overlook that? It's so weird. It'd be like bringing the new Ghostbusters out and having Bill Murray... Right, they've got all that cast there. They've got Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, and Dan Aykroyd there. Now, what would you do? Would you have a scene with M3 in it, or would you go, I tell you what, we'll have Bill Murray in New York, we'll have Ernie Hudson in Chicago, and then we'll have Ray going back.
That's dude, that is just lip service to the fans, because basically you want them all in the same room, repeating the same fucking line they had in the original. Do you know what I mean? Like you said about Rick Moranis.
No, I agree with Lummy on this.
I don't mind if they do something different, but the fact that they would... I mean, the whole thing, the whole way they handled Luke... I know people talk about this till blue in the face. The whole way they handled Luke in that last film, those last three films as well, does not fit in with his character at all. It's so weird. It is so weird. And
explain what you mean. What do you mean it doesn't fit in with his character?
Well, his character turns into this whiny little... fucker who goes to an island.
Luke has always been whiny.
Yep.
No, right, all right.
Yeah.
No, but he's the most optimistic character in the galaxy, though. He tried to turn Darth Vader back to the good side of the Force, right? You know. Yeah. And then after he gets a knockback.
However, what we've learned, I don't know about you, but what we've learned about Jedis throughout the process of the entire flicks, all the Star Wars is when things don't go the way they want them to, they fucking run away. Yoda did it, yeah. Obi-Wan does it. Luke does it. They run away when things don't go their way.
Actually, after filming Ghostbusters, Bill Murray did it because he filmed. Not the Bill Murray fact, because he made a film version of a book by Somerset Maugham. Called Where
the Buffalo Roam.
No, it's not. It's called The Razor's Edge, and the film
was what we're on about earlier.
No, it's not. The Razor's Edge, different film.
Different. The Razor's Edge. The one you're talking about is the Hunter S. Thompson one.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, this is about a novel, and the film was such a. It was his film, and it was such a financial flop that he decided to go to Paris and study philosophy for a year. He just disappeared and then just came back as an actor.
George Lucas did the same thing. He thought Star Wars was going to flop, so he fucked off on holiday to Hawaii.
Went to Hawaii.
I know these filmmakers do what they want, and it's up to them at the end of the day, and the company. But I really think with them last films, they wanted all the old guard out, and they killed them off. When you think about what they did in the films, they kill them off one by one, pretty much, in every film.
Yeah, but one of them got killed off.
Yeah, in real life.
By real life. Do it. So I don't know.
Which is, but that was the plan when you think about it. That was the plan all along.
Yeah, but she was supposed to have a bigger role in that third film. They only cut her out so early because.
Do you know what? Actually, I've never thought about this before, but that does make sense, doesn't it? To get rid of the original three, the only hangover from the real fanboy films. And then it's like, you've got no say over what happens here on in, because these are all new characters. This is our story now. Do you know
what I'd have been happy with? Right? Do you know what I'd have been happy with? If they'd have had the original three in one film just to set up the new ones. That'd be, because we'd waited so long to see them back.
But that kind of throws a shoehorn into the whole what's going on with Luke thing. These films all predicate on the fact that Luke has fucked off.
Gone into exile.
But why didn't they do
so disappointed with the way...
But why not? Right. all right, Webb, well, why not do that in the first film then? It's been so long since we've seen him. Why not have it where it starts, Luke's got his Jedi school, and what happens, instead of seeing it in a flashback in the second movie, have it in the first one.
I think I'll tell you why. Even Disney, being the kings of the world at the minute, even they cannot convincingly do face swaps. They can't make people look younger properly.
They didn't need to. They didn't need to.
They did because it's all set. So the point in time where Kylo Ren is being trained, believe it or not,
it's only like
10
20
years.
Yeah,
10, maybe 20 years before. He's only in his 30s, isn't he, Kylo Ren?
Yeah, so it's only going to be like 10 years.
10 years since he destroyed the Jedi Temple, which upset Luke and made him run off.
But that's only making him 10 years younger. That's shaving his beard off.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe losing a bit of weight and a couple of girdles and some CGI. You're possibly right, but to do that for an entire film with 3 crusty old actors, it's going to be fucking expensive. So maybe,
especially when one of them is dead.
I'll tell you what they could do. They could do a decent animation of it, or something like that.
No, but that wouldn't be satisfactory, though, would it? Unless you've got.
I'm amazed.
You're talking about that point in the story where Luke has a flashback and he shows you that Leia was training to be a Jedi, and the face comes up from the blast shield, and they both look really weird. So to see an entire film of that, I think would have been fucking awful. But you're right. They should have done it 20 years before the sequels. You're right, in the middle, to keep the continuity flowing.
Or something, yeah. It was just so long, and then to not have them. I reckon everybody was disappointed about that they weren't in the same. All 3. That's what everybody wanted. You're like, then you go in and think, where's Luke? Oh, he's right at the end for a cliffhanger that really don't mean anything. When you watch the one after, it's like, wow, okay. I mean, yeah. There's
so many alternatives.
I'll tell you. Do you know what the other thing is when you watch these original trilogies as well? They're not complicated. We've said this before. The storylines are dead easy to follow, for anybody watching it. And I'm on about kids now.
I think the latest 3 trilogies are way less complicated than the prequels. The prequels are so overly complicated.
I really don't think so. That last film, the number 9, with that dagger stuff, and all that map of the Death Star and pulling that out, and it all like what the fuck? What?
I thought it was fine. That was just some good.
Who made
some Goonies shit. I loved it.
Do you know what? In essence, what we're saying is really, really hard to capture lightning in a bottle, right? So once you've got your original trilogy, which ain't perfect, but by the standards of the new ones, are perfect to us, right?
Yeah.
You've got a bunch of fucking people sitting in suits in Hollywood trying to figure out what made those films so magical, what kept us coming back to them, and then trying to replicate that.
Trying to deconstruct a cake. So they're trying to deconstruct the most beautiful cake.
Yeah.
And tell you exactly what was in it and how you can then replicate that cake. And you can't. You can't.
I mean, it's like The Mandalorian. You can look at The Mandalorian, look what Favreau did with that end episode.
Brilliant.
You watch that and go, this is all we wanted.
But now we're in danger of putting all our eggs in fucking Jon Favreau's basket for the time.
No,
we're not. You just said, right, he's taking over Lucasfilm. So the next thing he fucks up will be like, damn you, Favreau.
But we won't. Because, what he's done there, he's got so much credit with all the fans now, that guy. Even if he makes the next series and it's shit, it doesn't matter. Because he gave us what we were waiting for all these years. All we wanted to see was Luke as a Jedi, didn't we? Everybody waiting for that, and Team takes some people down the badass way. And it's when you saw him as an old man on an island, that's the first time you've seen him since 1983.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
You're right. I've always would have loved to see more of these characters, right? More Luke Skywalker. But what's weird about The Mandalorian is that was like just the most extra bit of Easter egg ever. Do you know what I mean? That you didn't need. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Didn't need it. I was already enjoying it. I was already, my mind was already blown. Didn't need the Luke thing. I was already thinking about things like certain robots popping up again, and the fact that you picked really carefully from a well of characters. And I didn't need it. It was a pleasant surprise, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it was already working for me before Luke came along. You know what I mean?
They're a great show anyway, but you know, when you see that was just the extra. Even and then when R2D2 rolled in, because Luke was good enough, you're like, fucking hell, that was it.
Yeah, no, that
when R2 rolled in, I was like,
he did do a wonderful job of it.
Mate, I'll never forget how excited I was when I saw the X-Wing pull up. And you just knew. You're like, oh my God.
I just knew because of the amount of messaging in our Facebook chat, Rob. If you've been in our Facebook chat, it went absolutely nuts. So I've been doing something else one night, and I woke up the next morning, and it's just a stream of these two fanboying out, but trying not to spoil it for me. So it was just like, oh, Gittins, have you watched it?
It wasn't even spoiling, Rich. He was trying to get you to watch it.
Yeah, no,
so we could
no. But exactly.
That's it. Yeah, it was.
Is there anything else? Just because noticing the time, is there anything else you guys would like to comment about Jedi before we wrap up? If you're going to finish on positives, I think that's probably a good thing to do.
I think the nostalgia plays a hell of a lot, like Webb was saying earlier. I mean, for me, Return of the Jedi, I went to see. I've said this before on the show, but I went to see it at the cinema. We'd seen Star Wars and Empire. It was a triple bill. I'll never forget it. Never forget that experience. We went in, bought the action figures afterwards. You were like, that was amazing. Loved it.
Did you have the Panini sticker book?
Yeah, I don't like it.
You see, this is it, and this is where I think Disney, and I don't know whether it's in their contract with Lucas or I don't know what the issue is, but I think they're missing a trick by not having the original trilogy in all of their formats on Disney Plus, because I would love to go back and watch Empire and Jedi the way they were supposed to.
You know what you're doing there, Rich? Effectively, is you're muddying the waters even more, because you're trying to find something in that original cut. Believe me, it's not there. You watch the original cuts and you could see why they fixed it all. And mostly it's about lighting in the film. So
I understand that.
It's dark.
I understand that. I totally understand that. But
my positive about Return of the Jedi is something I haven't really mentioned them, but somebody who fucking nails it all the way through this movie and is pitch perfect is Ian McDiarmid as the Emperor. He's fucking brilliant. He's brilliant. And it's hammy as hell. It's over dramatic. It's a little bit Shakespearean.
The film needed
brilliant.
It was
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Even the bit where Luke says to him, "No, fuck you, I'm not coming to the dark side. I'm going to be a Jedi." And he just goes, "So be it, a Jedi." And then it cuts away to him doing something else, and he doesn't actually electrocute him until a bit later on. It's just, I thought this time round, I was like, he's fucking brilliant in this.
Sometimes you love to see an evil character really enjoying being evil.
Yeah,
and he nails that. He's got that in spades. I love the fight between Darth Vader and Luke. I think it's brilliant. It's a good fight. It's a really good, tells the story, push the narrative forward. It's excellent. And you know what? I really enjoyed while all the shit's going down on Endor. I love the battle going on in space. I thought it was brilliant. That was
and we've not even talked about Admiral Akbar.
No, I know. Yeah, but all of that's really good. All of that works really,
what's
really
the guy who sat next to Lando call as well with the sideways vagina across his face?
Nine Num.
Just fanny lips. It's just fucking.
I love Lando in this. He's got some great lines.
Yeah, he's all right in this one. He is. Yeah.
I do. I'm a bit. I'm a
promise, not a scratch.
I am confused as to why.
You get out of here, you old pirate.
I'm confused why Han Solo forgives him so quickly. I get it that everyone else has had time to forgive him, but I'm just a bit confused why Han Solo does.
That's interesting, actually. They never mention that.
No.
You know, they just go straight to him being a General Lando, have the Millennium Falcon going to battle. He's never once like, you fucking fucker, I can't believe.
And also, exactly. And also, there was no part. If I was Han Solo, I'd be wanting to fly the Millennium Falcon.
Actually, I know.
I've got it.
I know why.
Go on.
I know why. It's because he redeems himself before the end of Empire.
Yeah,
he doesn't see
that.
He saves Leia, doesn't he?
Hang on a minute. I've got it easy. He were in Dungeon Ages with Chewie. Chewie will have told him what's been going on. He already told him Luke's a Jedi. He'll have gone, by the way, Lando turned out all right. He actually...
Fuck that guy.
You know.
And he'd be like, but he's here trying to... Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
at least want to slap him in the face.
He'd have had that conversation. He'd have had that conversation with him.
What happened as well is when Han woke up, it's like, oh, by the way, Chewie says to him in Wookiee, he says, you don't need to worry about him fucking Leia while you were in the carbonite because he's got this new mate with the fanny lips. I'm pretty sure there's something going on there.
Right, well, that was our retrospective look at Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Do we have any comments at all, Lemmy?
Sure got a pretty mouth, boy.
Have you got any do we have any more bots trying to sell us their services?
No, there's no more comments. Everybody's still watching.
Okay, brilliant. Well, Rob, thank you so much for coming along and showing us your brand new toy. That was really exciting. How long have you had that for, and how long have you been waiting to unbox it?
I bought that as we did the DB9.
Wow!
Since I did that for you. But
have you got anything else that's unboxed?
There's the TIE Fighter as well.
Oh, we're gonna have to get Rob on again soon. We're gonna have to look at what else can we do that's Star Warsy that's coming out soon that we can talk about to get Rob, because I wanna see that.
Well, the stuff that's coming out Star Warsy, the next is
what about the Ewok adventure films?
Oh yeah, they've all been put on Disney. If you really want to cringe, Gittins, go check them out. Caravan of Courage, and what's the other one called?
Battle for Endor.
Oh God,
they're not terrible.
I used to like the Ewok cartoons. I used to like the Ewok cartoons, but it was.
They picked a
what was the next
spit of Luke as well, didn't they?
When is the next Disney? When's the next Disney Plus Star Wars series coming out?
The cartoon, the Bad Batch, the animation they've done in the style of the Clone Wars is coming out on May the 4th. So that's the next one.
What day does May 4th fall on? Because it is Star Wars Day, isn't it?
I think it's a Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday. It is Tuesday because I'm in Leeds. That's the week I'm in Leeds. That is the week I'm in Leeds. I go up on the 3rd and I go. Anyway, this is something that we should probably check after the show. Rob, thank you very much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. As always, having you as our resident Lego master, dethroning Nathan. Sorry, Webby, didn't mean to make you angry. Lummy, is there anything that you would like to go on?
Next week, we're doing a retrospective of all the Police Academy films.
All 8 of them.
We said it now.
We're not doing that. Lummy, is there anything you want to come this week? What's going on the radio show? Anything going on? What are you looking at? A prequel, sequel this week?
Prequel, sequel this week. We are doing Taxi Driver Monday night, 8 o'clock. Bit of a classic.
Choice, yeah.
Tuesday. Christopher Lloyd. Oh, Marty!
Oh, but you know, that would be a fucking brilliant remake of Taxi Driver with the cast of Taxi.
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Well, I'm the only one here.
And you got the radio show on Tuesday night?
Yeah, it's all. It's not all geek to me. That's what this show's called.
Box Office Radio.
Box Office Radio. What's the score? 8 o'clock, and I'll be playing some music on there from films. There's a bit of Back to the Future on this week. There's all sorts on.
Fantastic.
A bit of Jaws for you. I've got.
Can I make a request?
Too late, man.
Oh man. Well, for next time then.
Yeah.
I want a bit of original score music from Peter Rabbit.
All
right. Check it out.
Nice.
Oh, we've not even mentioned him tonight, have we?
Well, just did.
Well, there we go. Webby, any pearls of wisdom that you'd like to share with our wonderful community?
Nope.
Fantastic. And,
no, I'll go get a lovely massage down at Bob's Massage Parlours. No, I'm kidding. It's called the Beauty Spot, Steinbeck Road. See the lovely cake, get yourself a lovely massage.
Oh, well.
We'll do whatever you want. Get some waxed, get your nails painted if you like, and they do all sorts.
What are you going to do? Support your local businesses. They need the business.
Happy head, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, go to our Twitter page at It's All Geek Twit. Go to our Facebook page, It's All Geek Face, which is a weird name to call it, Chris. You set that up. I just realised it was called that the other day.
There was already something called It's All Geeks to me at a shop.
But you could have been It's All Geek FB.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go to our YouTube page, It's All Geek to Me. Or we could just come back here next week at 8 o'clock, where we'll be back with another show. Rob, thank you so much for the time that you spent with us this week. Thanks for building that Lego. I can't wait to see the TIE Fighter now. I'm really excited. I'm really excited, if I'm honest, to see the Millennium Falcon. I'm I'm really excited about
He's
that.
living
I might
vicariously
just
through
start
you,
teasing it like one little piece at a time.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
you know what you should do,
texting
right?
them to me.
Send him one block at a time through the post.
Oh, God.
6,500
I'm
times.
so excited about seeing this.
Like
the
them, what do you call
Millennium
them? What's that company that make them things where you got to buy them in pieces, $2.99 a week?
Yeah,
Oh, with
your
the
first
magazine that used to
Yeah,
get.
first one's 99p, and the
The £5 a week after that. Yeah.
Everybody's
They
just
actually
got
did
Darth
one,
Vader's
yeah.
foot for 99p.
What did you say, Rob?
The company that do those, they actually did a Millennium Falcon based
Oh.
on the studio model. Yeah,
Really?
it's about the same size
Wow.
as the UCS.
Oh, they always look
Wow.
amazing. They always look amazing, but
Fucking
fucking expensive.
They actually did one. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. But ladies and gents, we will see you next week. Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you to Martin. Thank you to everybody for commenting on the show. Thank you to Daisy. I'm going to call you right now. But we will, for now, we will see you. Go on. You got a number? Is it she sent her? She didn't send a number via the internet. That's bless you, Daisy. See you next week, and I'll call you later, Daisy. Goodbye.
Bye.